Chapter 3148. With a loud bang, Chun Rufing's body split open again. This time, even his head was smashed. Whoosh! Amidst the sea of blood, an illusory figure fled into the distance. That was Chun Rufing's soul. At this moment, he couldn't care about anything else. His soul hugged a bead and fled quickly. Trying to escape? Lin Xian sneered. He stretched out his hand like a five-fingered mountain and sealed the entire void, completely cutting off Chun Rufing's path. Damn brat, you dare to kill me? I'm from the Chun family. If you kill me, the Chun family will never let you off. A mere Chun family can't threaten me. Lin Xian's palms slowly closed. Wherever it passed, nothing could stop it. Damn it! Chun Rufing's soul hugged a red bead and suddenly let out a sharp cry. The red bead was covered with runes and turned into a soul attack. Go to hell! At this moment, Chun Rufing used his full strength. If this attack hit, it could instantly destroy the enemy's soul. Soul attack. Chun Rufing's soul attack was actually so powerful. Everyone felt their hair stand on end. Damage to the soul was very difficult to heal. Lin Xian's lips curled into a sneer. Soul attack? He really didn't know what was good for him. Buzz. Golden runes flickered in his eyes. In an instant, a ball of golden flame flew out. The soul attack was instantly broken. Not only that, the red bead in Chun Rufing's hand also cracked from the middle with a bang and turned into a pile of ruins. Chun Rufing's soul screamed crazily and rolled in the air. It was very painful. No, damn it, you can't kill me. His voice was getting weaker and weaker. Stop. At this moment, a cold shout came from afar. Who is it? How dare you cause trouble here? Obviously, the commotion here had alerted the higher-ups of Tianfeng Pavilion. At the same time, Qi Siyu also said, Lin Gongzi, please think twice. Chun Rufing's identity is indeed not simple. However, Lin Xian didn't stop at all. There was still a wisp of golden light in his eyes. His cold voice came. Are you convinced? Yes, I'm convinced. Chun Rufing kept begging for mercy. I was wrong. Lin Gongzi, you're a magnanimous person. I shouldn't have provoked you. I apologize to you. Please forgive me. These words shocked everyone. These people were all disciples of aristocratic families, so they naturally knew how proud and arrogant Chun Rufing was. No one could make him lower his head. Even Qi Siyu had only managed to force Chun Rufing away. But now, there was actually someone who had destroyed Chun Rufing's physical body. He even tortured Chun Rufing's soul. Chun Rufing had no choice but to apologize. Beg for mercy, lower your head. This was even harder to accomplish than killing the other party. Who was it? You still dare to make a move? Do you not put my Tianfeng Pavilion in your eyes? The loud and clear voice echoed in the air. Then, a middle-aged man stepped into the air and arrived beside Lin Xian. He looked at his surroundings with a solemn expression. Damn it, someone actually dared to make a move in his territory? However, at the next moment when he saw Qi Siyu, his expression changed, and he called out respectfully, Second, Mississippi. The person who came was the pavilion master of Tianfeng Pavilion. He had been in the depths of Tianfeng Pavilion, preparing for the upcoming grand event. Unexpectedly, there was a violent fluctuation outside. He even sensed that the protective formation of Tianfeng Pavilion had shattered. This made him furious. Who dared to be impudent in their Tianfeng Pavilion? Therefore, he walked out with an imposing manner. At the same time, he was extremely angry. What were the guards and elders of Tianfeng Pavilion doing? Why did no one stop the great battle outside? When he arrived, he saw a young man emitting a terrifying aura, turning his opponent into a bloody mist. He even burned his opponent's soul. The pavilion master of Tianfeng Pavilion instantly arrived in front of the young man, wanting to take him down personally. However, at the next moment, he saw a woman standing beside the young man. That woman was the second miss of the Qi family, Qi Siyu. The pavilion master of Tianfeng Pavilion hurriedly bowed. At the same time, he saw their second miss respectfully persuading the young man in red in front of her. What was going on? Could it be that the person who made the move had a powerful background? Thinking of this, the pavilion master of Tianfeng Pavilion was shocked. He immediately withdrew his aura and stood to the side. What was going on? He hurriedly called one of his subordinates and asked in a low voice. When he learned that the elders and the surrounding guards had all kowtowed and apologized to the young man, and were even expelled from Tianfeng Pavilion, he was extremely shocked. The young man had such a powerful background. When he learned that the young man had instantly killed a genius disciple of the 9 great clans, the pavilion master of Tianfeng Pavilion felt like his scalp was about to explode. Who was this young man? How dare he kill a genius of the 9 great clans? Wasn't he afraid that the 9 great clans would join hands with him? When he found out that the person his opponent wanted to kill was actually Chen Rufeng, he was shocked. The pavilion master of Tianfeng Pavilion almost fainted from shock. At this moment, he even suspected that there was something wrong with his ears. Chen Rufeng. The young man wanted to kill Chen Rufeng. Furthermore, it was already the final step. Heavens! Chen Rufeng wasn't someone that a cultivator of the 9 great clans could compare to. He was the eldest son of the Chen clan. He was someone who had the potential to become one of the top young geniuses in the world. He was the hope of the Chen clan. Even the Qi clan wouldn't dare to touch someone like him, because once he was killed, the Chen clan would retaliate crazily. However, the red-robed young man before him had a calm expression, as if he didn't care at all. It was as if he was crushing an ant to death. He immediately broke out in cold sweat. Luckily, he didn't make a move just now. Otherwise, he would be a dead man by now. The pavilion master of Tianfeng Pavilion trembled at the thought of this. Meanwhile, Lin Xian smirked coldly as he looked at Chen Rufeng, who was struggling in pain. Are you convinced now? He knew that the young man wasn't being sincere. However, he didn't care. With a wave of his hand, a 9-story pagoda flew out and suppressed Chen Rufeng's soul within it. The next moment, his cold voice sounded. You may be spared from death, but you can't escape punishment. If you want freedom, tell the Chen clan to come to me, with peerless spiritual herbs. With that, Lin Xian put away the 9-story pagoda. The others were stunned. What was going on? Did the young man suppress Chen Rufeng? He even threatened the Chen clan to exchange peerless spiritual herbs for him? Was this kid really going to start a war with the Chen clan? Everyone shuddered at the thought of this. At the same time, they knew that there was an earthquake. This was definitely a big deal. Many of them were extremely excited because they knew that a storm was coming. Ever since the battle at Tianqiong Peak, Cloud Return Planet had been quiet for a long time. They didn't expect a storm to erupt at Tianfeng Pavilion again. Chapter 3149. The pavilion master of Tianfeng Pavilion was stunned. This was really a fierce person. He even dared to suppress Chen Rufeng. He even dared to threaten the Chen family. Thinking of this, he wiped the cold sweat on his forehead. Qi Siyu beside him heaved a sigh of relief. As long as he didn't kill Chen Rufeng, everything was negotiable. At most, the Qi family would step in. In short, no matter what, they couldn't let Lin Xian get hurt. Lin Xian didn't care about the reactions of the people around him. What Chen family, the 9 great families, he didn't take them seriously at all. To be honest, attacking Chen Rufeng this time was also an accident. If not for the other party releasing killing intent towards him time and time again, he wouldn't have made a move. He knew that letting such a person go would cause a greater disaster. However, he could use Chen Rufeng's life to make an exchange with the Chen family. He wanted to collect 1,300 kinds of spiritual herbs. Most of them could be collected by 1,000 Herb Hall. However, some of the spiritual herbs were very precious. With 1,000 Herb Hall's ability, it would probably be very difficult to complete them in a short time. But now he could make the Chen family bleed a lot. In a while, he would distribute the spiritual herbs he needed. These people would definitely pass them to the Chen family. Thinking of this, he turned his head and stared at the middle-aged man beside him. He asked indifferently, "Just now, were you stopping me?" The pavilion master of Tianfeng Pavilion was also a 9-star perfection stage expert. He was extremely powerful. But at this moment, in Lin Xian's eyes, he was like an ant, trembling, because he knew that this person in front of him was a ruthless person. He killed the genius of the 9 great families and suppressed Chen Rufeng. The other party was actually safe and sound now. One could imagine that the other party was very strong. It wouldn't be difficult to kill him. Moreover, looking at Qi Siyu's attitude, even if he killed him, the Qi family wouldn't have any reaction. Therefore, the pavilion master hurriedly bowed and said, "Misunderstanding. This is a complete misunderstanding. I didn't know that it was young master who attacked." As he spoke, he looked at Qi Siyu as if begging for mercy. Seeing this scene, Qi Siyu sighed and said, "Young master, this is the pavilion master of Tianfeng Pavilion." "The pavilion master of Tianfeng Pavilion?" Lin Xian raised his eyebrows and asked, "I remember that your Tianfeng Pavilion is going to launch an extremely special cauldron later, right?" "Yes." The pavilion master of Tianfeng Pavilion didn't know why the other party asked this question. Qi Siyu's brows twitched. She knew that Lin Xian was an alchemist, and an extremely powerful one at that. To alchemists, what was the most attractive thing? Other than medicinal pills, there was also the pill cauldron. This was a necessary treasure for refining pills. From the looks of it, Lin Gongzi should be lacking a pill cauldron to refine pills. Thinking of this, she hurriedly said, "Pavilion Master Li, young master wants to see the pill cauldron. Why aren't you preparing it?" "Yes, I will go and prepare now." "Please wait for a moment. Second Miss and Lin Gongzi." The head of Tianfeng Pavilion turned around and wiped off the cold sweat on his forehead. Then he hurriedly led people to make preparations. Soon, many pill cauldrons appeared in the spell formation. There were 10 of them floating in the air. Each of them exuded a mysterious and ancient aura. The light that hung down dazzled people. The young martial artists in the hall were still in shock, but soon they were attracted by the pill cauldrons in front. These were all top-grade pill cauldrons. They didn't expect Tianfeng Pavilion to be so generous this time. No way. Although Tianfeng Pavilion was powerful, they couldn't take out so many pill cauldrons at once. "I think it should be an auction." Sure enough, this was a small-scale auction. Among the 10 pill cauldrons, only 3 were from Tianfeng Pavilion. The other 7 were from other families or experts who entrusted Tianfeng Pavilion to auction. There were indeed pill cauldrons. Lin Xian also revealed a trace of surprise. He raised his head and looked at the cauldrons in front. Golden light appeared in his eyes. The next moment, he instantly stared at one of them. That was a purple pill cauldron. Its design was very simple. As soon as it appeared, it attracted Lin Xian's attention. Golden light bloomed in Lin Xian's eyes. Staring at this purple pill cauldron, he seemed to see the runes on it flowing rapidly like a purple river surging. It also seemed like a purple abyss that could make one's soul sink into it. What a magical pill cauldron! Lin Xian was surprised. With a wave of his hand, that purple pill cauldron came in front of him. Lin Xian reached out a finger and lightly knocked on it. Dang! The sound was like thunder, echoing for a long time without dissipating. Not bad, not bad. This is it. Lin Xian was very satisfied. Seeing this scene, Qi Siyu heaved a sigh of relief. Great. Ever since she came, she hadn't seen Lin Xian smile. She didn't expect that now. Lin Xian finally revealed a smile. As long as the other party was satisfied, then everything was easy. Qi Siyu said with a smile. Since Lin Gongzi liked it, it was good. Second miss. The pavilion master of Tianfeng Pavilion looked like he wanted to say something but stopped. Seeing this scene, Lin Xian raised his brows. Why? Not willing? At the side, Qi Siyu also snorted coldly. Her beautiful face immediately turned cold. Damn it, what was this guy doing? It wasn't easy to make Lin Gongzi happy, but he didn't expect his subordinate to be so reckless. He even wanted to stop them from the middle. Seeing Lin Xian and Qi Siyu's darkened faces, the pavilion master of Tianfeng Pavilion was sweating profusely. He was so scared that he was about to cry. He said while trembling, "No, Lin Gongzi, second miss. This pill cauldron has already been reserved by several people." "Who reserved it?" "Oh, right, this cauldron shouldn't belong to Tianfeng Pavilion. Why don't you just buy it and give it to Lin Gongzi?" Yes, the pavilion master of Tianfeng Pavilion wanted to say something, but seeing Qi Siyu's expression, he immediately shut his mouth. He didn't doubt that Qi Siyu would kill him on the spot if he dared to stop them. "Young master, this is the information about this pill cauldron." Qi Siyu took a jade slit from the pavilion master of Tianfeng Pavilion and handed it to Lin Xian respectfully. Lin Xian took it and probed it with his soul. Then he nodded silently. Purple Abyss Cauldron? This Purple Abyss Cauldron was extraordinary. It was said that it was passed down from ancient times and was very precious. It seemed to have been used by a half-saint back then. Therefore, the price was also very expensive. However, Lin Xian didn't have to worry about this. Qi Siyu didn't say anything and bought the Purple Abyss Cauldron directly. In response, Lin Xian accepted it without hesitation. What was a mere pill cauldron? If he cured the Qi family's patriarch, how many benefits would he bring to the Qi family? Therefore, this cauldron was just a side benefit. The real benefits were those precious spiritual herbs. Lin Gongzi, since you're here, why don't you stay for a while longer? Siyu had to treat young master well. Qi Siyu let out a beautiful smile. That was good too. Lin Xian nodded slightly. Then he said, "I have a few companions. Why don't you bring them along?" "All right, young master, I'll arrange it." Qi Siyu quickly asked the pavilion master of Tianfeng Pavilion to treat Lin Xian with the highest standards. As for Qing Qing, Nail and Yanran, and Fong Hao, the three of them were also invited in respectfully. After these people left, the entire hall was in an uproar. Chapter 30, 150. Heavens, this is truly a peerless monster. To be able to make the Qi family's second miss so respectful, even trampling on Chun Rufing's physical body, and suppressing his soul on the spot. This guy, everything he does is earth-shattering. Originally, I thought that with my peak 9-star strength, I could laugh proudly at those of the same level. Didn't expect that there's actually someone so much more powerful than me. These large family clan's prodigies were sweating profusely. To be honest, they were completely convinced by Lin Xian today. What was called a peerless prodigy, what was called a heaven-defying powerhouse, Lin Xian gave them the best explanation. And those female martial artists' eyes were all shining. If only they could marry such a person. What kind of person is Lin Gongzi? How can he be delusional to a little girl like you? I've decided, even if I can't find a husband like Lin Gongzi, I'll definitely find someone like him. These beauties were really excited. This kind of indomitable, unparalleled hero, who could trample all over the world, how could they not be moved? Lin Xian was invited into the depths of Tianfeng Pavilion by Siyu and the pavilion master of Tianfeng Pavilion inside a majestic great hall. Accompanying them were Nailin, Yanran, Qing Qing, and Fong Hao. All kinds of exquisite dishes were served one after another. These were all abnormally precious ingredients. There was even flood dragon meat. One could say that it could not be eaten outside at all. Lin Xian chatted with everyone, while splitting a portion of his soul into the black earth to study the Purple Abyss Cauldron again. After all, This would be his pill refining partner for a long time in the future. He naturally had to familiarize himself with it well. As he observed at a close distance, he discovered that this purple abyss cauldron might really be a treasure. According to the records, this was left behind by a half-sage. However, Lin Xian did not think so. He discovered that although the remnant aura on it was already very faint, his soul force was still very powerful. Very soon, he was able to capture the remnant aura of true laws on the purple abyss cauldron. This was something used by a sage before. Sensing this point, Lin Xian was wild with joy. A pill cauldron left behind by a sage? What an unexpected surprise. Generally speaking, alchemy cauldrons were also divided into grades. For example, a king-grade alchemy cauldron could at most refine some pills required by a king-grade alchemy cauldron. It would be very difficult to refine the medicinal pills required by the semi-sage realm. As for saints, there was no need to even think about it. It was impossible to cultivate it. However, it would be different if it was a half-step sage's cauldron. The success rate would be greatly increased. If it was the cauldron of a saint, then there would be no problem. He could even directly refine saint-level pills. Therefore, Lin Xian now had the purple abyss cauldron, which could be said to have solved a big problem. While they were drinking and chatting inside, the hall outside changed again. Because Tianfeng Pavilion had another thing to do besides inviting the experts and disciples of these big clans, which was to hold an auction. Especially this time, they were auctioning off 10 pill cauldrons. This news had been released long ago. Therefore, the grand meeting of Tianfeng Pavilion this time attracted many alchemists. At this moment, these alchemists came one after another. I've heard that there are quite a few good pill cauldrons this time. I must get one. Many Elixir Kings' eyes lit up. Is that so? I'm going to have one too. Anyway, there are many pill cauldrons, so we don't have to fight for them. These Elixir Kings were very happy. Suddenly, their eyes widened, revealing a trace of shock. Heavens, am I seeing things? That's Elixir King he too. Why is he here too? What? Elixir King he too? No way. He's a 9-star Elixir King. After the other Elixir Kings heard this, they were also extremely shocked. Although they were all Elixir Kings, they were also ranked. After all, the medicinal pills for kings to consume were divided into 9 grades. Elixir Kings were also correspondingly divided into 9 grades. The pills refined by a 9th grade Elixir King were the best, and the success rate was also the highest. Therefore, the status of a 9th grade Elixir King was very high. A 9th grade Elixir King would attract countless big clans to treat him as a distinguished guest. The Elixir King he too that these people were talking about was a 9th grade Elixir King. Therefore, the moment he appeared, it immediately caused a commotion. Greetings to Elixir King he too. The surrounding Elixir Kings all went forward and bowed respectfully. Elixir King he too was a middle-aged man with a white face and no beard. His pair of swollen eyes were full of spirit. Although he looked young, his true age was already more than 1,800 years old. The arrival of Elixir King, he too made the surrounding Elixir Kings very shocked and excited, because in their alchemy world, Elixir Kings were legendary existences. At the same time, they were even more curious. What heaven-defying treasure was there this time? Even Elixir King, he too was attracted. They didn't know. They only seemed to be auctioning pill cauldrons. Could it be that there was something special about this pill cauldron? Thinking of this, everyone was greatly surprised. Wait, that was Elixir King Blackfeather. Suddenly, another person screamed. The other Elixir Kings turned their heads one after another. In the next moment, screams sounded one after another. The young prodigies in the entire hall were also stunned. To be honest, when these Elixir Kings came, they had to accompany them carefully. No one would easily provoke an Elixir King, especially these Elixir Kings. Therefore, those Elixir Kings were also proud and arrogant. Even if the people around them were geniuses, They were also disdainful. These elixir kings gathered together alone. The others didn't dare to go forward at all. The genius disciples of the other clans could only watch from afar. Originally, they were prepared to go over later and curry favor with 1 or 2 elixir kings. This way, it would be a great benefit to their clans, and they would definitely be rewarded by their clans. However, before they could act on their thoughts, they saw those Pill King level alchemists making a fuss over nothing. What's going on? Are these elixir kings crazy? Lower your voice. Don't you want to live anymore? But I really think that there's something wrong with their heads. The surrounding sky prides were dumbfounded by what they saw. Why would the elixir kings care about the thoughts of the people around them? They were too shocked. They saw an old man in a black robe walking over. The old man in the black robe looked very old, but his hair was incomparably black, which made him look very strange. If one were to take a closer look at the black Taoist robe he was wearing, they would discover that it was pieced together with black feathers. This old man was also called Elixir King Blackfeather. He was also a 9th grade Elixir King. When Elixir King Blackfeather appeared, even Elixir King, he too revealed a look of surprise. He said in a deep voice, "Looks like you're also here for that thing." "That's right, I'm determined to get that thing," Elixir King Blackfeather said with a smile. "Humph." Elixir King, he too snorted. It was obvious that he wouldn't give that thing away so easily. The surrounding alchemists were at a loss. At the same time, they were extremely excited. 2 elixir kings were competing. What was that thing? How could it attract 2 9th grade elixir kings? Chapter 3151. Both of you are quite early. At this moment, another laughter was heard. Everyone turned around and held their breaths in the next moment. This time, it was a woman in her 30s. She was wearing a fiery red long dress, which accentuated her graceful figure. Compared to those young and beautiful women, she was more mature and charming. Pill King Red Lotus. The surrounding alchemists screamed again. This woman was not an ordinary one. She was also a 9th grade Pill King. Oh my God! What were the 3 Tier 9 Pill Kings fighting over? Excuse me, but I have already reserved that item in advance. So, please don't fight for it when the time comes. Pill King Red Lotus said with a smile. Humph, do you think you are the only one who has reserved it? I have also reserved it. Pill King, he too snorted. Pill King Blackfeather said with a smile. I have already prepared for it. So, let's compete with our wealth. The surrounding alchemists were excited, as if they had been injected with chicken blood. The 3 9th grade Pill Kings were determined to get it, and it seemed like they were willing to spend a fortune on it. When the time came, it would definitely be a bloodbath. Soon, the auction began. Everyone walked forward. Other than the Pill Kings, the genius disciples of the big families also followed. Many people looked at the 3 figures in front of them, who were like moons surrounded by stars. They were very surprised. What's going on? Who are those 3 people? Why would the other alchemists be so respectful to him? I just received news that those 3 are 9th grade Pill Kings. What? 9th grade Pill Kings? As soon as these words were said, the surrounding prodigies screamed crazily. Their eyes were filled with incomparable shock. Not only could a 9th grade Pill King refine the highest 9th grade pill, but their success rate was also incomparable to other Pill Kings. If a family could have a 9th grade Pill King, the cultivation speed of the family's martial artists would be greatly increased, far surpassing the other families. Thinking of this, everyone's eyes were fixed on the 3 9th grade Pill Kings. They had to think of a way to win over these 3 people as much as possible. At the front, the 3 9th grade Pill Kings took their seats. The other alchemists also sat down one after another. At the back, the genius disciples of the big families could only sit at the back. However, they were already very satisfied to be able to watch it. On the auction stage, an old man walked up and started the auction. These people were already very familiar with the process of the auction. Moreover, these people had already investigated the situation of those pill cauldrons. Therefore, everyone started attacking their respective targets. For a time, the competition was very intense. The price was so high that the geniuses of the surrounding large clans were flabbergasted. Even if they were faced with such a price, the corners of their mouths twitched. They even discovered that the price of several pill furnaces was comparable to half of their family's assets. That was definitely a sky-high price. However, these pill kings were all distinguished guests of the various large clans. Their wealth could be said to be comparable to that of a nation. Therefore, even with such a high price, these people would not be intimidated. 7 out of the 10 pill cauldrons had already been opened. He was hit by 6 people. There was one person who won 2 in a row. His wealth was so great that it made everyone sigh in shock. Those alchemists who didn't get it shook their heads in pity. They were prepared to fight again. However, there were also people who were extremely surprised. Why didn't the 3 ninth-grade pill kings make a move? What did they know? What they bid must be their trump card, so it must be the last pill cauldron. Therefore, let's go all out and fight for the top 9. These pill kings made up their minds and made a move decisively. Indeed, when the 9th pill cauldron was won at the highest price, everyone was excited. They knew that the final treasure was coming. The 3 Tier 9 pill kings sitting at the front opened their eyes as well. They didn't care about the previous pill cauldrons because they didn't care about them. However, the last pill cauldron was different. They were here for the last pill cauldron because they had received news that the last pill cauldron was passed down from the ancient times. It was rumored that it was a pill cauldron used by a half-saint. To them, this was undoubtedly a supreme treasure. After all, they were already 9th-grade pill kings. One more step, and they would be half-step pill saints. At that time, they would naturally need more precious pill cauldrons. Therefore, this time, when a half-saint pill cauldron appeared, they must get their hands on it. Even if they couldn't become half-step pill saints in a short period of time, obtaining a half-saint pill cauldron would greatly increase their success rate of refining pills. The eyes of the 3 grade 9 elixir kings lit up. Just as they were about to display their skills, the old man from the Tianfeng Pavilion on the auction stage announced loudly, "Everyone, the 9 pill cauldrons have been auctioned off. This auction will end here." What? Hearing this, all the pill kings were stunned. The auction was over? How was this possible? The 3 ninth-grade pill kings hadn't made a move yet. The surrounding alchemists were all stunned. The 3 ninth-grade pill kings stood up with a bang, and strange flames rose from their bodies. They asked coldly, how was this possible? Where was the last pill cauldron? Where was the pill cauldron that was passed down from the ancient times and rumored to be used by a half-saint? The voices of the 3 pill kings were like thunder, exploding in the void. After hearing this, the surrounding alchemists' pupils shrank. It was passed down from the ancient times, and it was used by a half-saint. They sucked in a breath of cold air. It was no wonder that the 3 Tier 9 pill kings were all here, as if they had been injected with chicken blood. They even looked as if they were determined to win. It turned out to be a half-saint pill cauldron. It was definitely something good. Indeed, only something like this could attract the attention of the 3 ninth-grade pill kings. These people were amazed, but at the same time, they were even more confused. It seemed that there was a problem, because the last pill cauldron wasn't auctioned off. What was going on? Didn't they say there would be 10 cauldrons? Why were there only 9? Pill King Red Lotus frowned. Could it be that the 10th pill cauldron was stolen by them? Pill King Blackfeather's face also darkened. The feathers on his black robe were emitting waves of black flames that were jumping and releasing a terrifying aura. Pill King, he too shouted coldly. Could it be that the Tianfeng Pavilion was making fun of me? The 3 ninth-grade pill kings were furious. On the auction stage, the auctioneer from the Tianfeng Pavilion looked extremely ugly. He quickly said, "Please calm down. We have our own difficulties in this matter. Please listen to my explanation." He didn't dare to offend the ninth-grade Pill Kings. After all, a ninth-grade Pill King had connections with countless families. There was once someone who offended a ninth-grade Pill King, and that person was an invincible peak-stage Pill King. He was very powerful. However, he ended up in a very miserable state. That ninth-grade Pill King had attracted the attention of dozens of experts from the major families and a few experts from the major sections. It wasn't hard to imagine the ending of the ninth-grade Pill King's enemy. Every ninth-grade Pill King had that kind of power. Therefore, even the chief family behind the Tianfeng Pavilion didn't dare to go against a ninth-grade Pill King, let alone 3 ninth-grade Pill Kings. Chapter 30, 152. Explain? Fine. I'd like to hear your explanation today. Pill King, he too had a fiery temper. He snorted coldly, his eyes burning with rage. Pill King Blackfeather and Pill King Red Lotus's faces darkened as well. They were usually high and mighty. Even the experts from the big families had to curry favor with them. Now, someone dared to make a fool out of them. The last cauldron, the Purple Abyss Cauldron, had been bought by someone in advance. What? Who is it? The 3 Pill Kings were enraged when they heard the news. The old man had no choice but to briefly explain the situation. The 3 Pill Kings frowned. The Qi family bought the cauldron and gave it away. The Qi family was one of the top families. Even though they were Pill Kings, they did not dare to offend them. Therefore, Pill King Red Lotus frowned slightly and decided not to pursue the matter. However, Pill King, he too had a fiery temper. He snorted coldly. "Who did you give it to? The treasure was right in front of me. How could I not be angry? I also want to know who the Qi family is. Who is the ninth-grade Pill King that the Qi family treats like this? Is it Pill King Red Flame or Pill King Blue Flame?" "No, it's Lin Gongzi," the old man said with a bitter smile. "Lin Gongzi? Which Lin Gongzi is he? I've never heard of Lin Gongzi. How dare a brat snatch our treasure? Where is he?" The 3 Pill Kings did not back down. "Let him out." The other elders of Tianfeng Pavilion saw this and immediately went to persuade them. At the same time, a few of them hurried to the depths of Tianfeng Pavilion to report this matter to the second miss and the pavilion master. "Second miss, pavilion master." Oh no! Outside the main hall, there was an urgent voice. Qi Siyu frowned. "What's going on?" She was entertaining Lin Xian here, but the people outside were making trouble for her. Seeing Qi Siyu's expression, the pavilion master of Tianfeng Pavilion quickly stood up and said, "I'll go out and have a look." Soon, the pavilion master of Tianfeng Pavilion came out with a grave expression. "What's going on?" Qi Siyu frowned. The pavilion master looked at Lin Xian and said cautiously, "Second miss, it's the ninth-grade Pill Kings." "Ninth grade? What's going on?" Qi Siyu's frown deepened. A Tier 9 Pill King status was not ordinary. Now that the 3 of them were causing trouble together, something must have happened. Did the Tianfeng Pavilion master offend them? Thinking of this, a cold light appeared in her eyes. The pavilion master. He let out a sigh and told her the whole story. "Actually, it's like this. Previously, when we held the Pill Cauldron auction, we simply released the news of the 10 Pill Cauldrons. We also released the news about the Purple Abyss Cauldron, which attracted many Tier 9 Pill Kings. This time, the 3 ninth-grade Pill Kings were here for the Purple Abyss Cauldron. However, the Purple Abyss Cauldron had already been given to Lin Gongzi in advance. That was why the 3 Tier 9 Pill Kings were so angry that they caused trouble. Qi Siyu frowned. She recalled that the pavilion lord of Tianfeng Pavilion had said that the Pill Cauldron had already been reserved, so it was reserved by 3 Tier 9 Pill Kings. This matter was indeed a little tricky. She couldn't afford to offend Lin Xian. After all, she still had to rely on him to treat her patriarch's injuries. However, they couldn't afford to offend 3 Tier 9 pill kings. These people were of high status, so the Qi family had to deal with them properly. Lin Gongzi, take a seat first. I'm going out to take care of some things. Qi Siyu stood up and said softly. Lin Xian also put down his wine glass. I'll go with you. After all, this whole thing started because of me. Lin Xian did not expect that a purple abyss cauldron would actually attract such a thing. But thinking about it, it was rumored that this cauldron was left behind by a half-sage. Those Tier 9 pill kings would definitely try their best to get their hands on it. However, the purple abyss cauldron was already Lin Xian's. He couldn't give it away. Moreover, it wasn't used by a half-sage. It was something left behind by a sage. It could be said that it was a sage-grade cauldron. Lin Xian might not give it away, but he wouldn't stand by and do nothing. If he could help, he would help. All right. Seeing that Lin Xian wanted to go with them, Qi Siyu nodded. Let's go too. Nailan Yan ran, and the rest also put down their wine glasses. The group left the hall and headed outside. Outside, the elders of Tianfeng Pavilion had a helpless expression, facing the questioning and anger of 3 Tier 9 pill kings. They couldn't resist at all. They could only apologize carefully, but fortunately, they heaved a sigh of relief because they received a message that Second Miss and the Pavilion Lord were on their way. Not long after, a group of people came from afar. Countless people moved aside. It was Second Miss and the Pavilion Lord. Those elders heaved a sigh of relief. Their backs were wet with sweat. After all, facing 3 Tier 9 pill kings was too much of a pressure. Now that Second Miss and the Pavilion Lord were here, they had nothing to do. Therefore, these elders stood aside respectfully. The 3 Grade 9 Elixir Kings squinted their eyes and looked ahead. They naturally knew the Pavilion Lord of Tianfeng Pavilion. But beside the Pavilion Lord of Tianfeng Pavilion was a beautiful lady. She looked unfamiliar. But when they saw the pattern embroidered on the lady's clothes, they knew that she was from the Qi clan, and she was a core member of the Qi clan. The Qi clan was behind the Tianfeng Pavilion. They all knew this, and they already knew that the Qi clan had bought the Purple Abyss Cauldron in advance as a gift. She should be the second miss of the Qi clan. Pill King Red Lotus said lightly. Pill King Black Feather frowned. He didn't understand. Who was that young man? He was very confused. The second miss of the Qi clan was already very noble, but she was accompanying a young man. Who was that young man? Was there someone more powerful than the Qi clan? But he didn't see the Qi clan's emblem on the young man. Moreover, the young man's aura was very obscure. He couldn't even see it clearly. It seemed that the young man was either an extremely powerful expert or someone with an extremely high status, but the three of them weren't afraid. They were all Tier 9 pill kings. If they worked together, their status and strength would be unimaginable. Even if it was the Qi clan, they would still dare to question why they were fooling them. So it's the 3 alchemy kings who have arrived. This little girl pays her respects. After coming to the front, Qi Siyu laughed softly, and then bowed slightly. The Pavilion Lord of Heavenly Room Pavilion also came forward to greet them. Only Lin Xian stood there with his hands behind his back, looking at them curiously. Were these 3 pill kings of the 9th grade? He felt a terrifying and powerful flame aura from them. Pavilion Lordly, what do you mean? Why did you spread the news if you don't have the Purple Abyss Cauldron? Are you fooling us? Pill King, he too said coldly. Chapter 3153. Pill King Blackfeather and Pill King Red Lotus looked cold. The pavilion master smiled bitterly. Qi Siyu explained, "It's like this. Due to some reasons, I bought this cauldron not long ago and gave it to someone else. It's not that the Heavenly Square Pavilion faked the news, but there's a reason for it. I hope the three Pill Kings can forgive me. Of course, the Chi family will definitely compensate you. Chi Siu knew how important a ninth-grade Pill King was. Even the Chi family couldn't afford to offend them. Instead, they tried their best to please them. Pill King He too snorted. I heard that the second miss gave the cauldron to someone called Lin Gongzi. Who is this Lin Gongzi? Is he an alchemist? If the second miss gave it to another ninth-grade Pill King, we won't say anything. But if the second miss didn't give it to an alchemist, then I'll fight for it. Pill King Black Feather said in a low voice. Pill King Red Lotus didn't say anything, but it was obvious that she had the same idea. They had never heard of Lin Gongzi before. How could they be willing to give such a high-grade cauldron to a brat they had never heard of? What? Chi Siu was stunned. She didn't want to drag Lin Xian into this again. The surrounding people were in an uproar. Oh my God! Lin Gongzi? Wasn't he the fierce man from before? They knew that Lin Xian had gone on a killing spree in the hall half a day ago. He had killed the geniuses of the 9 major clans, destroyed Chen Rufeng's body, and even suppressed his soul. How terrifying such a person was. Of course, they also saw Lin Xian take one of the 10 pill cauldrons. They didn't expect that the cauldron was left behind by a half-step saint, and these 3 ninth-grade Pill Kings were also determined to obtain that pill cauldron. That was why the scene today was like this. Lin Gongzi was a fierce man. He didn't even care about Chen Rufeng and the 9 major clans. Would he give face to the 3 Pill Kings? That might not be the case. Although the Chun clan and the 9 super clans were powerful, the combined influence of 3 ninth-grade Dan Kings might be even greater than theirs. No way, right? 3 alchemy kings were actually so terrifying. Don't forget, that was a 9th-grade Pill King. Every alchemy king had connections with many families. 3 ninth-grade Dan Kings could even gather more than 10 clans. It was too exciting. Who would have thought that the matter that had just calmed down would cause such a storm? How would this brat deal with it? I don't think he'll back down. He'll definitely make a scene. That might not be the case. No matter how arrogant this kid was, he wouldn't dare to fight against 3 ninth-grade Pill Kings at the same time. Everyone was talking about it. Chi Siu frowned slightly. The pavilion master of Tianfeng Pavilion beside her was sweating profusely. Lin Xian was very calm. Hearing the words of the 3 Dan Kings in front of him, he revealed a trace of surprise. Oh, you want to see me? Who are you? Although the auction was over, these alchemists didn't leave at all. They knew that the real big event was yet to come. As expected, they saw the second daughter of the Chi family and the rest. However, they didn't expect a young man to suddenly speak after the 3 ninth-grade Pill Kings finished their questions. I'm naturally the Lin Gongzi you're talking about. What? It's actually you? The surrounding people were all stunned. The 3 ninth-grade Pill Kings were also stunned. Then, a piercing light burst out from their eyes as they stared at Lin Xian. You're that Lin Gongzi? The purple abyss cauldron is in your hands? They were really too excited. Originally, they thought that Lin Gongzi was so far away that they wouldn't be able to find him at all. However, they didn't expect him to be right in front of them. Since that was the case, they couldn't miss this opportunity. They must get the purple abyss cauldron. That's right, it's me. Lin Xian nodded slightly. The surrounding people exclaimed. The 3 ninth-grade Pill Kings were frowning. To be honest, until now they had used all kinds of secret techniques, but they still couldn't see through Lin Xian's strength. They couldn't even tell if he was an alchemist. At this moment, the most hot-tempered Pill King, he too snorted coldly. Kid, take out the purple abyss cauldron. Name a price, and I'll buy it. You're a young man and not an alchemist. The purple abyss cauldron is useless to you. I can give you an equivalent divine ability or weapon in exchange. Pill King Black Feather said with a smile. Pill King Red Lotus next to him laughed. How about this? Give me the purple abyss cauldron, and I'll make you a furnace of top-quality spiritual medicine for free." Hearing this, everyone was very excited. The 3 ninth-grade Pill Kings spoke. This was a big deal. One had to know that a ninth-grade Pill King's wealth was very high. Any random treasure they took out would make people jealous. They didn't expect this kid to be so lucky. The alchemists were very envious. Lin Xian was stunned at first, then he laughed. "Who said that I'm not an alchemist? Although your conditions are good, I don't need them. Since the purple abyss cauldron is already mine, the 3 of you can go back now." "What? You're an alchemist?" Pill King Blackfeather was very surprised. Pill King Red Lotus and Pill King, he too, were also stunned. The surrounding alchemists were all stunned and went into an uproar. This kid is actually an alchemist? Heavens, how old is he? Look at his bone age. Don't tell me he's an old monster. All kinds of strange flames appeared in the eyes of these people, trying to see through Lin Xian. The next moment, they exclaimed, "His bone age is too young. This is definitely a very young person. Even if this kid is an alchemist, he's probably an extremely ordinary one." The surrounding people looked at him with disdain. They were all Pill Kings. Although they weren't ninth-grade Pill Kings, they were still top Pill Kings who stood at the top of the alchemy world. How dare a young kid be so arrogant in front of them? This made them very unhappy, especially the 3 ninth-grade Pill Kings. They all laughed. "Kid, which sector are you from? So what if you're an alchemist? The purple abyss cauldron is not something you can use. Just hand it over obediently. I see that your talent is not bad, so I don't mind taking you as my disciple." Where did you learn from? Which ninth-grade Pill King? In their opinion, the other party might be the disciple of a ninth-grade Pill King, which was why he had such an arrogant personality. However, that identity was useless in front of them. Lin Xian laughed when he heard that. "Take me as your disciple? I'm afraid you don't have that right." When those words came out, the crowd was in an uproar again. The eyelids of the martial artists in the distance twitched wildly. As expected, this guy was ruthless. He didn't even give face to the 3 ninth-grade Pill Kings. It seemed that there would be a good show to watch. They were extremely excited, while the surrounding alchemists were furious. How dare he speak to the 3 ninth-grade Pill Kings in such a manner? They were really angry. Ninth-grade Pill Kings were the top existences in their eyes. They had to be respectful when they saw them. How dare a young kid in front of them be so arrogant? It was really intolerable. Chapter 3154. As expected, the faces of the 3-tier 9 Pill Kings darkened with anger. The flames in their bodies were like volcanoes that could erupt at any time. The Tian Fong Pavilion's pavilion master was about to pee his pants. Chi Siu smiled bitterly. To be honest, she couldn't intervene at all. At this moment, a young man walked out. Tiny red flames danced on his body. Although they were weak, their power was enough to shock everyone. "Kid, you're too reckless. How dare you talk to 3 Tier 9 Pill Kings like that? Do you know what a Tier 9 Pill King represents? Looks like you don't even have the right to enter our circle." His face was full of arrogance as he said this. The surrounding people exclaimed in shock. "This is Pill King, he too's disciple." "That's right. I'm his master strength. How can a kid like you understand?" Another person walked out. This was Pill King Heiyu's disciple. The appearance of these two shocked the others. The disciples of the 2 Tier 9 Pill Kings were also very powerful. Among them, Pill King He2's disciple was a Tier 5 Pill King. Pill King Heiyu's disciple was even more powerful. He was a Tier 6 Pill King. Of course, he was older than the previous one, but it was already very terrifying, because the other party was only around 500 years old. He was young and promising. Lin Xian shook his head slightly. "Oh, is your master very powerful? Can he cure the Qi family's patriarch's injury?" "Qi family's patriarch's injury?" Everyone's expression changed when they heard this. Even the 3 Tier 9 Pill Kings were stunned, because this was no secret. The Chi family's patriarch had been severely injured after he came back from the abyss 300 years ago. They had invited many Pill Kings to treat him, but none of them could cure him. Therefore, the entire circle of alchemists knew that even a 9th Tier Pill King was helpless against it. It was even rumored that the Chi family had paid a huge price to invite a half-step saint alchemist to treat him. In the end, he still couldn't cure him. Therefore, the Chi family's patriarch's injury had become the final conclusion of the entire alchemy circle. Unless a Pill Saint appeared, no one would be able to cure him. Therefore, Pill King He-Tu's disciples snorted coldly when he heard Lin Xian's words. Of course they knew. It was better if no one knew. Even a half-step alchemy saint could not cure him. Only a true Pill Saint would be able to do so. However, Pill Saints were extremely rare existences. It would be very difficult for it to appear. The others nodded as well, because this matter was not a secret in the alchemy world. However, they were puzzled. Why would the other party bring this up? Could it be that the other party's master had a way to deal with it? What a joke! However, in the next moment, they were dumbfounded. Lin Xian said proudly, "You can't, but I can." These words were like a sudden clap of thunder, shocking everyone. They were all stunned. Heavens, what did this brat say? He could. Pill King He-Tu's disciple almost spat out a mouthful of blood. After the others recovered from their shock, they burst into laughter as if they had heard the funniest joke. The 3 9th grade Elixir Kings snorted coldly, their eyes filled with disdain. Initially, he thought that the other party was an expert, but who would have thought that it was just an arrogant and ignorant brat? How could such a person contend against them? He was overestimating himself. Seeing the surrounding jeers, Lin Xian's expression was indifferent. Nail and Yanran, Qingqing 3 people, on the other hand, were extremely shocked. They did not expect that Lin Xian actually had such capabilities. However, hearing those Elixir King's words, they were suspicious. Forget about them. Even the Tianfeng Pavilion's pavilion lord was also suspicious, because this news of his was seriously too shocking. It was simply impossible to be true. However, at this time, Qi Siyu stepped forward and said softly, "What Lin Gongzi said is right. He indeed has a way to treat my ancestors' injuries." Ugh. Those Elixir Kings who were still mocking around instantly stopped laughing. The smiles on their faces became incomparably ugly. It was as if their necks were being pinched by someone, unable to breathe. How was this possible? Finally, that disciple of Pill King He-Tu screamed. This was impossible. Second Miss, you wouldn't have been deceived by him, right? One had to know. Something that even a half-step Elixir King could not do. How could he, a brat, do it? Elixir King Blackfeather's disciple similarly stepped forward. That's right, Second Miss. You mustn't be deceived by his flowery words. To be honest, Qi Siyu also doubted it. However, after that incident, she asked her ancestor. Her ancestor was extremely happy, feeling that he had found hope. Qi Siyu was very confident in her ancestor. Since her ancestor believed in something, then she naturally believed it to be true. Therefore, she was incomparably respectful towards Lin Xian. At this moment, facing the ridicule of these Elixir Kings, Qi Siyu said coldly, this matter was absolutely true. Lin Gongzi indeed had the ability to do so. The 2 outstanding disciples of Elixir King, He-Tu and Elixir King Blackfeather, were so angry that they vomited blood. The surrounding Elixir Kings were also stunned when they heard this. At this moment, 3 9th grade Elixir Kings opened their mouths. Little kid, what ability do you have to be able to bewitch the second miss of the Qi family? I'm afraid it's because of this reason that the second miss of the Qi family gave you the Purple Abyss Cauldron. Humph, misleading people with lies. With just you You don't deserve the purple abyss cauldron. The 3 ninth-grade elixir kings were also enraged. They originally thought that the other party had some ability, but they did not expect that the other party was just a braggart. Master, don't worry. I'll teach this kid a lesson. Elixir King, He-Two's disciple quickly bowed and said. In the next moment, he walked out. Kid, do you dare to have a match with me? He wanted to expose Lin Xian in front of everyone. Hearing this, the surrounding people were interested. Yes, we'll know after a match. This kid probably can't even refine a first-grade king-grade elixir. Hee, let's see how he'll embarrass himself then. Kid, I won't bully you. I'll use half of my strength to compete with you. How about it? Elixir King, He-Two's disciple, was very arrogant. However, Lin Xian glanced at him and shook his head slightly. You're not qualified to be my opponent. Let your master come out. What? The surrounding people were in an uproar. This guy is too arrogant. Elixir King, He-Two's disciple, roared in anger. Kid, you're too presumptuous. Do you know who my master is? How dare you challenge him? If you want to challenge my master, you'll have to defeat me first. He was really angry. Lin Xian stood with his hands behind his back, completely ignoring him. He did not care about a mere 5th-grade elixir king. One had to know that whether it was the Saint Breakthrough elixir that he refined or the Qi family's patriarch's elixir, they were all at the half-step saint grade. In other words, Lin Xian was definitely at the half-step pill saint level now. He did not care about a mere 5th-grade elixir king. Not to mention this person, even the 3 ninth-grade elixir kings were not worthy of his attention. Chapter 3155. I've lived for almost 2,000 years, but I've never seen such an arrogant junior. All right, since that's the case, I'll make my move. Pill King He-Two walked out. Everyone was in an uproar. What's going on? A 9th-grade Pill King is going to make his move? Master, Pill King He-Two's disciple exclaimed in surprise. In his opinion, the other party couldn't even beat him, let alone his master. However, Pill King He-Two waved his hand. He seemed to have planned this beforehand. However, there's a price to pay for fighting me. If you lose, you have to give me the purple abyss cauldron. How about that? Purple abyss cauldron? No problem. Lin Xian waved his hand. Everyone sucked in a breath of cold air. The pavilion master of Tianfeng Pavilion also exclaimed in a low voice. In his opinion, it was impossible for Lin Gongzi to win against Lin Xian. In fact, Qi Siyu felt a little uneasy, although she knew that Lin Xian was especially valued by her ancestor. Moreover, she also knew that Lin Xian's combat strength was very strong. As for alchemy, Qi Siyu had never seen it before. You really agree? Pill King He-Two was stunned, then his face was filled with joy. On the other hand, Pill King Blackfeather and Pill King Red Lotus's expression changed. Oh no, I didn't expect this guy to have such an idea. Damn it, I was too late. It's over. Is the purple abyss cauldron going to be taken by this guy? Both of them were very unwilling to accept this. However, the other party had already made his move. There was nothing they could do now. As for defeating Pill King He-Two, what a joke. They didn't believe that a young boy could win against Pill Kings of their level. Of course they were serious. Lin Xian said, but what if you lose? I lose? Ha ha ha. Pill King He-Two looked up and laughed. If I lose, you can ask for anything. He-Two, will definitely do it. All right, it's a deal. Lin Xian's eyes were shining with a cold and fiery light. If you lose, you have to give me a 7,000-year-old Heaven's End cliff. Heaven's End cliff. The surrounding Pill Kings were stunned. Pill King He-Two's voice, but his eyes were wide open. His eyes suddenly widened. What did you say? Heaven's End cliff? That kind of spirit medicine that was almost extinct. You want a 7,000-year-old one? Everyone sucked in a breath of cold air. The other two pill kings were also stunned. This little fellow had such a big tone. What? You don't dare? Lin Xian glanced at him and said coldly. The purple abyss cauldron was at least at the half-step saint level. Could it be that it could not compare to a single Heaven's End cliff? A dignified ninth-tier pill king didn't even have this bit of courage? Lin Xian shook his head in disappointment. This scene infuriated the surrounding alchemists so much that they wanted to vomit blood. Damn. You're just a little brat. Where did your confidence come from? Do you really think that you've won against Pill King He too? That was a 9th grade Pill King. Get your facts straight. Sure enough, Elixir King He too also calmed down and a smile appeared on his face. The Heaven's End cliff was indeed very difficult to find, not to mention a 7,000-year-old one. However, he had full confidence in himself. How could he lose to a brat? Thus, he did not need to prepare any Heaven's End cliff at all. He only needed to agree to this competition. All right, this old man agrees. Elixir King He too smiled. Words were no guarantee. Lin Xian waved his hand, and a blank jade slip bloomed in the air. Buzz. Lin Xian placed his conditions on the jade slip. On the other side, Elixir King He too frowned, but soon she sneered and wrote her conditions on the jade slip as well. The jade slip shone brightly, and Lin Xian took it in his hand and handed it to Qi Siyu. Siyu, you can take this. Lin Xian was not worried at all that Elixir King He too would go back on his word. If Qi Siyu went back on her word, the jade slip would be announced to the world, and Elixir King He too's reputation would come to an end. By then, no one would dare to invite such a person. The others were stunned when they saw this scene. Was this guy courting death? Yes, if he reneged on his word and escaped, or if the Qi family protected him. Even Elixir King He too would not be able to do anything. However, if he wanted to sign a contract, the Qi family would not protect him. Not only that, he even dared to say that he could cure the Qi family's ancestral patriarch. If he lost, the Qi family would chop him into pieces. Elixir King He too's disciple sneered. Kid, let's see how you're going to die. Lin Xian said calmly. Tell me, what do you want to compete in? He did not care about the competition at all. He did not expect to finally complete another stock. Among the 1,306 spirit herbs he collected, there were about 900 stalks. Although it was difficult to collect them, it only took a little time. The remaining 300 stalks were more precious, but they could be found easily if given to a big family like the Qi family. However, there were 5 stalks that were more precious. Some of them were even extinct. The Heaven's End cliff was one of them. Even the Qi family would not be able to find them in a short time. He did not expect to be able to solve it through a competition. What an unexpected surprise. What an arrogant kid. Elixir King He too snorted when he heard Lin Xian's nonchalant words. However, he was very patient. Soon, the purple abyss cauldron would be his. How about this? Refining pills is too time-consuming. Why don't we compete in fire? Compete in fire. The eyes of the surrounding Elixir Kings lit up when they heard that. Every Elixir King had to master fire, but each person's mastery of fire was different. As for the competition of fire, it was also a relatively common way for these alchemists to fight. The stronger the fire, the deeper the understanding of fire, and the higher the success rate of refining pills. This also reflected the elixir master's ability. Therefore, in their opinion, competing in fire would be able to determine the strength of both parties and their elixir masters. Elixir King He too's disciple raised his head, his eyes filled with confidence. He knew very well how terrifying his master's flames were. It seemed that the kid could not even take one hit. Elixir King Black Feather and Elixir King Red Lotus frowned. This Elixir King, he too was a bully. Well, he's too cunning. He's one step ahead of us. Their faces were extremely ugly. Lin Xian was also taken aback, his expression strange. Competing in fire? One had to know that he had comprehended the power of fire that was close to the Tao. Moreover, this power was extremely terrifying. After going through the saint's residence and the cliff of enlightenment, this power that was close to the Tao was close to the fragments of the law of fire. At this moment, the other party dared to compete in fire with him. Was he not courting death? All right, as you wish. Lin Xian shook his head slightly. I'll give you a chance. Show me your strongest fire ability, or you won't have a chance. Kid, how dare you? This is what I want to say to you. Elixir King, he too roared. He had a bad temper to begin with. When he heard this, his lungs were about to explode. How dare the other party look down on him? Chapter 3156. The others were almost numb. They thought that Lin Xian was too arrogant and had a death wish. Humph, what do you know? My master's 7 flames connecting sky is a terrifying divine ability. Using this divine ability to refine pills will greatly increase the success rate. It's famous in the alchemy world. You don't know what's good for you. Just you wait. Elixir King, he too said coldly. Kid, don't blame me for not warning you. Hurry up and use your strongest skill. Otherwise, you won't stand a chance if I make a move. I've already given you a chance. Don't blame me if you don't take it. Elixir King, he too was almost 2,000 years old and was a 9th grade Elixir King. Why would he take the initiative to attack a kid? You want me to make the first move? Fine, I won't hold back then. Lin Xian shook his head slightly. It seemed that his opponent was the one who didn't know what was good for him. He stretched out his finger, and a ball of golden flame danced on his fingertip. Then he flicked it out gently. What was this kid doing? Everyone was stunned when they saw that. Instead of using his strongest divine ability, he flicked out a small flame the size of a soybean. Was he competing with a 9th grade Elixir King? Was this a joke? Elixir King, he too's disciple's mouth twitched. Oh no, his master was definitely angry. Humph! Elixir King, he too's face darkened. His aura suddenly erupted and swept across the 9 heavens. He was indeed angry. Even if his opponent was an ant, he would not show mercy. However, his expression changed in the next moment. Wait, that flame? His face became extremely frightened, and his body began to tremble. The monstrous sea of fire that rushed out of his body dimmed in an instant and was about to be extinguished. It was as if he was a subject worshipping the emperor. What was going on? Damn it! Attack for me! Elixir King, he too was stunned. He could not use the 7 flames connecting sky that he was so proud of. Damn it! He roared angrily and activated the armor on his body to form a strong defense. He wanted to take the attack head-on. Boom. Whoosh. The golden flame the size of a soybean hit the armor and then suddenly exploded. It turned into a golden sea that covered the sky and enveloped Elixir King he Tuesday. In the next moment, Pill King he too let out a blood-curdling scream as he was sent flying. His entire body was pitch black and his hair was standing on end. He looked extremely wretched. The surrounding Pill Kings opened their mouths wide, and their eyeballs almost fell out of their sockets. What's going on? Pill King he too was defeated? This was impossible. How could Master be defeated? Pill Monarch he too's disciple was stunned. Pill King Blackfeather and Pill King Red Lotus were equally stunned. What the hell? How could he too be defeated? The pavilion master of Tianfeng Pavilion was stupefied. The group of elders was stupefied. Chi Siu was similarly stunned. The geniuses of the major clans in the distance were also stunned. For a time, the entire hall was silent. Who are you? Pill King he too's voice trembled. No one knew that his armor had been shattered. This was a top-grade armor. Furthermore, it was most adept at defending against fire-type attacks. But now, a small flame had shattered it. What was even more frightening was that he couldn't even unleash the slightest bit of fire attribute power in front of that ball of flame. What kind of flame was that? Damn kid. How dare you use despicable means to ambush my master? I'll kill you. Pill King He Two's disciple roared and charged forward. However, he was slapped into the ground in midair. Pill King He Two slapped his disciple to the ground and said coldly, "Idiot, get out of my sight." "Master?" The young man was stupefied. Pill King He Two snorted and knelt down to apologize. Plop! The young man knelt on the ground, trembling. He knew how hot-tempered his master was. The others were also stunned. Pill King Blackfeather and Pill King Red Lotus were also stunned. What was going on? Pill King He Two. How did you lose? Pill King He Two's expression was extremely ugly. He didn't answer but stared at Lin Xian as if he was trying to verify something. Lin Xian stood with his hands behind his back and said lightly, "Remember, a 7,000-year-old Duantian cliff. Aren't you doubting whether I can cure the Qi family's patriarch? When you go to the Qi family, bring this spiritual herb with you. Otherwise, I'll take your head." At this point, Lin Xian's aura suddenly became fierce. It was as if a peerless divine sword had been unsheathed, causing everyone to gasp for breath. What a terrifying person. Everyone's expression changed. How could this young man's aura be so terrifying? Pill King He Two's disciple almost fainted. He was too strong. He couldn't even withstand a wisp of his opponent's aura. Now, he was grateful to his master. If his master didn't save him, he would be a dead man by now. A top expert. Pill King Blackfeather and Pill King Red Lotus's pupils shrank. They didn't expect this young man to be so strong. However, at the same time, they frowned. Being strong in combat didn't mean that he was good at alchemy. Otherwise, why would they need alchemists? What? You two are not convinced? Fine, I'll give you a chance to fight. However, if you lose, you have to give me a western sand and a dreamy fruit. These were also two extremely precious spiritual herbs. Some of the Pill Kings had never heard of them. What do you think, Red Lotus? Pill King Blackfeather asked coldly. Isn't it just a dreamy fruit? Although it's difficult to get, I can still get it. Moreover, I also want to see why Hichu lost. Red Lotus said in a delicate voice. All right, then leave the Huan River sand to me. The two of them made their moves one after another. However, they soon experienced Pill King He Two's despair. They also knew why Hichu was so shocked. In the opponent's flames, they couldn't use their fire abilities at all. They were completely suppressed. Who the hell are you? The two Pill Kings screamed, as if they had seen a ghost. This caused the other Pill Kings to be stunned. What was going on? Even Pill King Blackfeather and Pill King Red Lotus were defeated. And they were defeated so thoroughly, just a small golden flame was enough to make 3 9th-grade Pill Kings so terrified. Who the hell was this person? Now, no one dared to underestimate Lin Xian anymore. Because Lin Xian was really too mysterious. You don't deserve to know who I am. Lin Xian said proudly. Remember, 3 spiritual herbs. When you go to the Qi family, bring them with you. If Lin Xian had said something like this before, the alchemists around them would have bent over in laughter. However, they didn't dare to do so now. They were even trembling in fear. The 3 Pill Kings were defeated so easily. This meant that the opponent was absolutely terrifying, completely beyond their understanding. Such a person was like a legend. They couldn't afford to provoke him. The 3 9th-grade Pill Kings smiled bitterly. They didn't expect that after spending nearly 2,000 years, they thought that they were at the peak of alchemy and had no opponents. Now, they met such a young person who defeated them so easily. Chapter 3157. Although they had to pay a heavy price, they were convinced of their loss. Don't worry, he too, am a man of my word. When the time comes, the Heaven's End cliff will be yours. Pill King Blackfeather and Pill King Red Lotus were the same. They had been famous 9th-grade Pill Kings for a long time. Naturally, they would not go back on their word. Good. Lin Xian nodded. After dealing with the 3 extremely precious spirit herbs, Lin Xian turned his head and looked into the distance. With a wave of his hand, countless sword qi intertwined in the air, forming the names of the spirit herbs one after another. In the next moment, Lin Xian's voice sounded. I know that many of you have good relations with the 9 superclans, and even the Chen family. I have suppressed Chen Rufing's soul and told Chen Jia to come see me with the spirit herbs. See clearly, these are the spirit herbs. Tell the Chen family to get ready. Otherwise, I will take Chen Rufing's life. The entire hall was shocked again. The geniuses and disciples of the super clans were stunned. Earlier, they had thought that Lin Xian was only joking around. Who would have thought that Lin Xian would really do such a thing? They looked at the names of the spirit herbs in the sky and quickly memorized them. The alchemists around them were also stunned. What was going on? What Chen Rufing? After a brief understanding, they swallowed their saliva. Many alchemists began to tremble. This was a god of death. He too, and the other 2 ninth-grade pill kings were also shocked. Firstly, they were shocked by Lin Xian's methods and strength. He was too powerful. He even dared to provoke the Chen family and the 9 superclans. At the same time, they were even more shocked by the number of spirit herbs in the sky. There were only 100 of them. Moreover, these spirit herbs were very precious. This kid must be collecting spirit herbs to refine some kind of pill. But what kind of pill would require so many ingredients? They found it hard to believe. They felt that this medicinal pill had already surpassed their understanding. What a mysterious young man. The 3 ninth-grade pill kings shook their heads. They did not want to think about it. I will give the Chen family 10 days to prepare. Come to the Chen family to see me after 10 days. Lin Xian's figure flashed and disappeared into the sky. His voice reverberated in the hall. Was there going to be an earthquake? The Chen family would definitely not let this matter rest. The same went for the 9 superclans. The genius disciples in the hall quickly left the place. Some of them went to inform the Chen family, while others frantically collected information on Lin Xian. Who was it that dared to be so arrogant? Pill King he too, and the others took a deep breath. Let's go. Pill King Blackfish smiled wryly. Of course, I promised you a Cleansing Creek muslin. That's not easy to find. Pill King Red Lotus smiled bitterly as well. Her enchanting face was filled with bitterness. She also agreed to a dreamy fruit. It seemed that he would have to put in a lot of effort to get it. These alchemists also left one after another. There was no need to think. From today onwards, Return Cloud Planet's alchemy world would definitely stir up a storm. Because of Lin Xian's powerful arrival, these alchemists went crazy. After everyone left, the pavilion master of the Tianfeng Pavilion asked in a trembling voice, Second Miss, who is this Lin Gongzi? Him? Qi Siyu shook her head slightly. I don't know either. But in her heart, she was amazed. This was probably a legend. Lin Xian gave her too much of a shock. Today, he fought with 3 ninth-grade pill kings and won easily. This scene shocked Qi Siyu. This was not something a 9th-grade pill king could do. Only a half-step pill saint who surpassed a 9th-grade pill king or a true pill saint could do it. Lin Xian had reached a height that she could only look up to. At the same time, she was wild with joy. The stronger Lin Xian was, the more likely it was that their patriarch's injury could be cured. Therefore, Qi Siyu decided to stand firmly on Lin Xian's side in the future. She would not let Lin Xian suffer the slightest bit of harm. Nalan Yanran and the others were also stunned. Previously, Lin Xian was already very powerful in their hearts. However, today's scene made them realize that Lin Xian was like a mystery. The closer they got, the more they could not see clearly. A bitter smile appeared on Nalan Yanran's beautiful face. Originally, she wanted something to happen between her and Lin Xian. But now, it seemed that it was impossible. Such a person was too powerful. He was so powerful that she could only look up to him. She glanced at Qi Siyu and sighed in her heart. Perhaps even the second daughter of the Qi family did not have such a chance. She wondered what kind of woman was worthy of such a peerless genius. Lin Xian had left, but the storm was still raging on. What happened in Heavenly Square Pavilion spread at an extremely fast speed. In an instant, the entire northern continent knew about it. They were shocked. Not only that, but a storm was also set off in the alchemy world. A mysterious top alchemist had easily defeated 3 ninth-grade pill kings. This news stunned them. After the Chen family received the news, they went completely crazy. Chen Rufeng was the hope of the Chen family. He was a top genius who could enter the ancient path of the starry sky in the future. Who dared to touch him? No one in the entire northern continent dared to touch him. But now, Chen Rufeng's physical body was destroyed, and his soul was suppressed. He could even be killed at any time. This was unacceptable to the Chen family. Damn it, we must catch the culprit. Tear him into pieces. The Chen family's experts roared crazily. However, some elders shook their heads. No, we can't be rash. Feng, Earth's soul, is still in the hands of the culprit. If we act rashly, the culprit will directly kill Feng, Earth's soul. In that case, Feng will be completely killed. He will never be able to be resurrected. This is not the outcome we want to see. Yes, that's right. We have to save Feng first. Then we will tear that kid into pieces. The Chen family's experts discussed quickly. The Chen family's patriarch was a very dignified, middle-aged man. He said coldly, "Let's work together with the 9 great families." Didn't he want the elixirs? Then let's get the elixirs for him. Let's see if he has the life to enjoy them. Hearing the Chen family's patriarch's words, the experts' lips curled into a sinister smile. They knew that the kid who provoked them was dead meat. Even if he had the Qi family's help, it would not be enough. In order to prevent the Qi family from interfering, let's quickly work together with the 9 great families. After collecting all the elixirs he needs, we will send a large group of experts to assassinate him secretly. As long as that kid hands over Feng, Earth's soul, we will kill him mercilessly. Soon, the Chen family's patriarch and the 9 great families' elders and experts met secretly. The 9 great families collected those elixirs like crazy. Under such crazy collection, all the elixirs that Lin Xian needed were collected. Is it done? Then it's time for us to act. The Chen family's patriarch's lips curled into a cold smile. Chapter 30, 158. Family Head Chen. What should we do? The elders of the 9 families asked. Family Head Chen sneered. Of course, they would send a large group of experts to attack him. Judging from his appearance, he should be a top expert at the king level, and he had a good relationship with the Qi family. There should be other experts guarding him. But so what? This time, the people we sent out were absolutely rude. Even if there were experts from the Qi family, they could kill him in one blow. By then, would the Qi family start a war with them for a dead person? How many experts would Family Head Chen send? The elders of the 9 families asked. Family Head Chen said coldly, I will send 10 experts at the great fulfillment of the invincible realm, and I will personally lead the team. The elders of the 9 superclans were stunned for a moment before they sucked in a cold breath of air. That was a big move. 10 experts at the great fulfillment of the invincible realm, and Family Head Chen himself was a top expert. This battle prowess could be said to be extremely strong. No one in the younger generation could resist it. Great. The 9 families will send 50 experts at the great fulfillment of the invincible realm, the elders said with a smile. Family Head Chen nodded slightly. Good, then we will go back and gather the experts. A day later, 50 experts at the great fulfillment of the 9 families appeared in the Qin family. Family head Qin led 10 experts at the great fulfillment of the invincible realm. In front of them, there was a purple spiritual boat that was emitting a mysterious light. This spiritual boat was called the hidden spiritual boat. It could hide in the void, and the invincible realm experts could not detect it. By then, you will hide in this spiritual boat and follow me. After I exchange Feng Er's soul, we will kill him. Great. The experts of the 9 families all laughed. With the hidden spiritual boat, that kid would definitely not discover it. When they attacked, even if that kid had 100 lives, it would not be enough to kill him. This kid provoked us again. Let's see how he will die this time. Humph, it won't be that easy for him to die. We will skin him alive and torture him for 100 years. I will let him know the consequences of going against us. Family head Chen's expression was extremely cold. In the next moment, all the experts boarded the hidden spiritual boat, while family head Chen rose into the air and flew into the distance. Tianfeng Pavilion. Lin Xian was cultivating in a secret room when his brows suddenly twitched because his soul perceived that a flying sword was descending from the sky and heading straight for Tianfeng Pavilion. Wang! Lin Xian's eyes flickered. A huge golden hand formed above the Tianfeng Pavilion and grabbed the flying sword. In the next moment, he disappeared. In the secret chamber, Lin Xian narrowed his eyes. In front of him was a black flying sword with a jade slip on it. Zhang Xian sent his primordial spirit into the jade slip and received a set of information. 1,000,000 miles away, in the divine Wolf Valley, they were exchanging spirit medicines and Feng Er's soul. Lin Xian smiled when he heard the news. He knew that it was probably someone from the Qin family. Who would have thought that the Qin family would have such means? In such a short time, he was able to collect all the spirit herbs that he wanted. What an unexpected surprise! Lin Xian did not know at this moment that not only the Qin family, but the 9 great families also went all out and spared no expense to complete the collection in a short time. However, this did not matter to him, because whether it was the Chun family or the 9 great families, he did not take them seriously at all. Divine Wolf Valley 1,000,000 miles away, Lin Xian soared into the sky and left Tianfeng Pavilion. He identified a direction and flew into the distance. 1,000,000 miles away, in the Divine Wolf Valley. This was a very famous valley. Rumor had it that back then, a monstrous great demon once cultivated here. In the end, that great demon king went to the extraterrestrial region, and this valley was left behind and was called the Divine Wolf Valley by later generations. At this moment, in the Divine Wolf Valley, stood a middle-aged man in a black robe. He had his hands behind his back, his expression cold, and his eyes flickering with a piercing cold light. He was the Chen family's family head. Apart from him, in the void near the Divine Wolf Valley, there was a purple spirit boat hidden. It was the hidden spiritual boat. There were 69-star perfection powerhouses in the hidden spiritual boat. A 9-star great perfection expert was already very terrifying and heaven-defying. If 60 of them appeared together, they could really crush everything. Therefore, this was also the reason why the Chen family's family head rushed over to exchange with Lin Xian. In his opinion, even with the chief family's protection, he would not be able to withstand their thunderous attack. Oh, here it comes! In the valley, the Chen family's family head raised his head, and a piercing cold light burst out from his eyes. He sensed that there was an aura rushing over quickly. Not long after, a black figure descended from the sky and landed in the valley. "You are that Lin Xian?" Murderous intent appeared in the Chen family's family head's eyes as he stared at the young man in a red robe in front of him. "That's right. I am. Have you brought the item?" After Lin Xian landed, he asked indifferently, "The spiritual medicine is here. I want to take a look at Feng. First, the Chun family's family head waved his hand, and a black ring appeared in front of him and kept floating. Seeing this scene, Lin Xian also waved his hand, and a 9-story pagoda appeared inside. There was an illusory figure inside. The figure floated inside the 9-story pagoda. When he saw the middle-aged man outside, he immediately revealed a look of joy. "Father, save me, Feng." The Chun family's family head's pupils constricted. He did not expect that Chun Rufeng's soul would also be severely injured. At this moment, he had become so weak. In the next moment, an extremely terrifying aura erupted from his body, and the entire valley trembled. A terrifying power enveloped everything. However, Lin Xian was not afraid at all. He said coldly, "Why? Do you want to fight? Try it. If you dare to move, I will destroy Chun Rufeng's body and soul." "Damn brat, how dare you?" The Chun family's family head roared angrily, but he still did not make a move. Because he was not 100% confident that he could save Chun Rufeng. Moreover, he had already made arrangements. Now was not the time to make a move. Humph! He withdrew his murderous intent and said coldly, "Let Feng go." "Sure, but I want to test the medicine first." Humph! The Chun family's family head waved his hand, and the black ring beside him flew over. He was not worried that the other party would escape because there was an inescapable ambush around. After Lin Xian received the black ring, his soul force immediately probed it. Then he nodded in satisfaction. The head was right. 280 spiritual herbs. Moreover, they were all very old and met his requirements very well. Lin Xian transferred all the spiritual herbs into the black earth and then shattered the storage ring. In the next moment, he waved his hand, and the 9-story pagoda trembled, releasing Chun Rufeng's soul. "Father!" Chun Rufeng's soul quickly left and came to the Chun family's family head's side. The Chun family's family head heaved a sigh of relief. He quickly took out a blue gourd and carefully kept Chun Rufeng's soul. It was a spirit-nourishing gourd. It was a very precious magic treasure that could nourish a person's soul. At this moment, it was the most suitable for Chun Rufeng. After carefully keeping it, the Chun family's family head heaved a sigh of relief. In the next moment, he looked at Lin Xian, and a piercing cold light burst out from his eyes. Chapter 30:159. "Kid, how dare you hurt my Feng, and demand such an exorbitant price? Do you really think my Chun family is a pushover? Today, I'll make you pay the price in blood." "Oh, what do you want?" Lin Xian originally wanted to leave, but when he heard this, he turned around and snorted coldly. "Your son was the one provoking me throughout the entire process, and I was forced to make a move." "Why, you want to stand up for your son? You?" Lin Xian's eyes were filled with disdain. He could tell that the other party was a 9-star perfected stage powerhouse, and his strength could be said to be very terrifying. But in front of him, he was like an ant. Seeing the disdain in Lin Xian's eyes, the Chun family's patriarch was completely enraged. "Damn it, I was actually looked down on by a kid? How can I tolerate this?" As the patriarch of the Chun family, his status was extremely noble, and he's a 9-star perfected stage cultivator. How terrifying is his strength? Who dares to look down on me? Even the Qi family wouldn't dare to look down on me. Even Qi Siyu would have to respectfully call me senior in front of me. But now, how dare he look down on me? The Chun family's patriarch felt like his lungs were about to explode. He was so angry that he laughed. "Good kid, you're really arrogant. No wonder you dare to go against my Chun family. However, you're too reckless. Do you really think I came here on my own? Oh, do you have a helper? Then hurry up and call him out." Lin Xian wasn't surprised at all. He had long seen that there was a spirit boat hidden in the void outside. Although it was hidden very well, and no one in the king realm knew about it. However, Lin Xian's soul was extremely powerful. In addition, the heavenly secret divine eyes were unparalleled, so he had long seen through it. However, with his strength, he wasn't afraid at all. As long as it wasn't a true half-sage or sage, no one could defeat him. Since you want to die, I'll fulfill your wish. The Chun family's patriarch waved his hand and said coldly, "Come in." In the distance, the void broke open, and a purple spirit boat rushed in and floated above the valley. In the next moment, the door of the spirit boat opened, and figures floated in the void like gods and demons. They descended quickly. Boom, boom. The earth trembled, and the void shattered. One figure after another descended from the sky, bringing with them a terrifying force. 1, 2, 3, and so on. There were a total of 60 figures, and each of them had an aura that coiled around them like a dragon. With a raise of his hand, he could shatter the void. 69 star perfection experts, including the Chun family's patriarch. There were 61 of them. This was definitely an incomparably terrifying force. Most likely, anyone here would be scared **less. Brat, I know that you have a good relationship with the Qi clan. Let the hidden experts of the Qi clan come out. The patriarch of the Qin clan said loudly, with 60 perfect earthly sovereigns standing beside him. He was very confident that he could control the entire situation. Lin Xian was also surprised. He had not expected that there would be 60 great fulfillment experts hidden in the spirit boat. In the next moment, his gaze turned gloomy, and a biting cold killing intent erupted from his eyes. It seemed that the other party did not intend to let him live. If he wasn't strong enough, he probably wouldn't have been able to escape today, since the other party wanted to kill him. Then don't blame him. An expert from the Qi clan? There are no Qi clan experts. I came here myself. Lin Xian shook his head slightly. What? As soon as he said that, the 60 perfect earthly sovereigns opposite him were stunned. The patriarch of the Qin clan was also stunned. Then he looked up to the sky and laughed. Brat, I don't know if you're really an idiot or just too confident. How dare you come here alone? If that's the case, then kneel on the ground obediently. Not only him, but the experts behind him also laughed. How could a young brat come here alone and face so many of them? How could he possibly survive? Any one of them would probably be able to crush him. The best thing for him to do now was to kneel down obediently, kowtow, admit his mistake, and beg for mercy. However, even so, they would not let him off. They would use the cruelest method to torture him to death. Brat, don't worry, we won't kill you. We have 1,000 ways to make you suffer a fate worse than death. Humph! How dare you kill the geniuses of the 9 super clans? Today you won't be able to leave. Those experts snorted coldly. The patriarch of the Chun clan also sneered. Now you know how powerful the Chun clan and the 9 super clans are, right? How dare you hurt my phone? I'll make you pay a painful price. With just you? You want to make me pay a painful price? You really don't know what's good for you. Lin Xian shook his head in disdain. They were just a bunch of 9 perfect earthly sovereigns. What was there to be afraid of? One must know that he had comprehended 2 types of power that were close to the Tao. Among them, the power of fire was close to the power of laws. This power had completely surpassed that of a king. No matter how many perfect earthly sovereigns came, they would not be able to compete with him at all. Therefore, in front of him, the 61 perfect earthly sovereigns were no different from ants. You're about to die, and you're still so stubborn? Brat, it seems like you won't cry until you see the coffin. The experts of the 9 super clans snorted coldly. Immediately, 2 perfect earthly sovereigns walked out. Since you won't admit your mistake obediently, then we'll break your legs and make you kneel on the ground. Then we'll cut off your flesh piece by piece. The 2 perfect earthly sovereigns revealed sinister smiles. They were not careless, and attacked together. This was because they knew that the other party was definitely a genius since he could injure Chinrufeng. However, so what if he was a genius? Could he beat the two of them together? Buzz. One of them opened his mouth and spat out a blood-colored wave of air. It turned into a sea of blood and rolled forward. The sea of blood was extremely terrifying. Even a 9-star sovereign would melt instantly if he touched it. The other expert stretched out a large palm. The clouds that filled the sky followed the palm and fell from the sky. It was like a world. The two superpowers rushed toward Lin Xian in an instant. Just the two of you? You're courting death. Lin Xian snorted in disdain. His body shone brightly like a golden god of war. With a wave of his arm, boundless golden flames spread and turned into two large golden hands in the sky. Boom! The sea of blood in the sky was shattered. The two large golden hands grabbed the bodies of the two perfect earthly sovereigns and then slammed them to the ground. With a boom, the ground shattered and terrifying cracks appeared in all directions. The bodies of the two perfect earthly sovereigns were shattered, and they knelt in front of Lin Xian. You want me to kowtow and admit my mistake? Kneel in front of me and accept your death. Lin Xian's cold voice sounded. What? Seeing this scene, the surrounding perfect earthly sovereigns were all stunned. Their eyes were wide open, as if they had seen a ghost. They could not believe it at all. How was this possible? The two perfect earthly sovereigns who were pressed to the ground screamed crazily, "Damn it! Get lost!" However, no matter how they roared or resisted, they could not break free. They could only kneel on the ground. A bunch of ants. How dare you be arrogant in front of me? All of you, kneel and accept your death. I can leave your corpses intact. Lin Xian's eyes shone with a cold light. Chapter 30, 160. On the other side, the Chen family head's face darkened. Damn it, don't be careless. This kid is an expert. Let's attack together. Yes, this time, 10 people walked out. Each of them was like a mountain, with the momentum of Mount Tai. As soon as they appeared, the entire space of heaven and earth froze. Heaven and earth quickly shattered. The 10 people took a step forward, and the void within 1,000,000 miles shattered. The pressure was too great. 9-star kings couldn't bear it at all. However, Lin Xian stood there and sneered. His body was not affected in the slightest. A mere 10 people dared to be arrogant in front of him? One had to know that his 9-yang divine body had reached the half-step sage realm. Even the power that was close to the Tao couldn't hurt him, let alone these people. Buzz. The 10 perfect perfection powerhouses attacked, and they used their peerless divine abilities. Terrifying energy filled heaven and earth, and they attacked Lin Xian together. Facing such a terrifying attack, Lin Xian only said 2 words, annihilate. In the next moment, the divine abilities that filled the sky disintegrated and disappeared without a trace. The bodies of the 10 perfect perfection powerhouses trembled, and then they exploded, turning into clouds of blood mist that scattered in all directions. What? Dead. When the other powerhouses saw this scene, their eyeballs almost popped out. Many people were so scared that they wet their pants. The Chen family head and the elders of the 9 great families also felt their scalps go numb. Damn it! What was going on? Where were the 10 powerhouses? If they were shocked when Lin Xian made 2 perfect perfection powerhouses kneel down. Now, this scene directly scared them silly. They didn't see Lin Xian make a move. Those were 10 kings of the consummate level. Even if he wanted to kill them, he should have fought until the heavens shook and the earth shattered. But there was nothing. The other party only said 2 words, and the 10 top powerhouses on their side were killed. There wasn't even a trace of resistance. Damn it, what kind of divine ability did this kid use? Many people were terrified. The Chun family head shook his head frantically. Impossible! He couldn't be so strong. There was an expert from the Chi family in the dark. Once these words were spoken, everyone acted as if they were facing a great enemy. They all propped up their king's spirit domain, and some even took out more than 10 killing arrays, enveloping the entire divine Wolf Valley. Chen Rufeng said ferociously from the blue gourd, "Father, don't hesitate anymore. Let's attack together and kill him quickly." When the Chun family's patriarch heard this, he flipped his hand and took out a disc array. Then he set up an array formation. He said, "Everyone, let's attack together. I've used this formation to isolate the entire valley. That brat definitely won't be able to escape." These people nodded. The remaining dozens of invincible kings walked forward together. This time, they did not hold back. Even the patriarch of the Chun clan had drawn his sword. In front of him, Lin Xian also moved. With a wave of his hand, 2 large golden palms slammed down, turning the 2 kneeling kings into a bloody mist. Wang, golden flames danced on his body. Sword come! With a cold shout, the endless flames condensed into a light sword which he held in his hand. Chop! As he spoke, the flaming sword in his hand continued to grow in size. Like a flaming dragon, it slashed down. Boom! Flames surged into the sky, and a terrifying storm danced. The sky was instantly split into 2 halves. There were monstrous flames and terrifying sword chi everywhere. The divine abilities unleashed by the dozens of kings in the great circle were all being burned and shattered. Damn it, how is this possible? Their scalps went numb. The elders shrieked as if they had gone mad. This aura. Their bodies couldn't bear it at all, and they couldn't help but want to kneel down. A power that was close to Tao. This was a power that was close to Tao. Finally, one of the elders screamed. What? A power that was close to Tao. These kings were all crazy. How could he have this kind of power? Who on earth was he? How could they not be shocked? One had to know that although they were 9 stars perfection powerhouses, in front of a power that was close to Tao, they were like ants. They couldn't withstand a single blow. Only by comprehending the power of the same realm could they compete with the other party. Damn it, this was a figure on Gao Peng's level. These powerhouses panicked and kept retreating, because not long ago, Gao Peng and the Nether King's performance in the Battle of Tianxiong Wind shocked the world. To them, a power that was close to Tao was the power of God. Who on earth was he? Which sect was this expert from? Chun family head, this is all your fault. What should we do? The people of the 9 super families roared crazily, and they all looked at the middle-aged man. The Chun family head's face turned black, and he was so angry that his whole body trembled. How could he know that the other party was a peerless genius who had comprehended Tao? If he knew, he wouldn't have dared to go against the other party. Who on earth was he? Why did you start a conflict with him? The Chun family head asked quickly. Although Chun Rufeng was only a soul in the gourd, he was also trembling at this moment. Impossible! He was going crazy. The other party had comprehended a power that was close to Tao. He actually dared to go against such a person? How could he be so reckless? One had to know that the reason why he was so arrogant before was because he was a genius of the Chun family. With the full support of the Chun family, given another 500 years, he was confident that he could comprehend this kind of power. But now the other party had already comprehended this kind of power and surpassed him by 500 years. Chen Rufeng's confidence was shattered in an instant. At this moment, when he heard the Chen family head's words, he shook his head. I don't know. I only know that people call him Lin Gongzi. Lin Gongzi? Hearing this, the Chen family head was stunned, and the surrounding experts were also stunned. They didn't know who Lin Gongzi was. However, at this moment, an elder's pupils shrank. His surname was Lin? His surname was Lin. The person who defeated the Nether King in Tianqiong Peak was called Lin Wudi. Could the two of them be? Before he could finish his words, the other elders were already trembling in fear. No way. Could the young man in front of them be Lin Wudi? Thinking of this, their minds were about to explode. If it was really Lin Wudi, even if there were 100 of them, they wouldn't be enough to kill him. Are you Lin Wudi? Many people screamed crazily. Lin Xian's lips curled into a cold smile. It seemed that they weren't stupid to actually guess my identity. What? You're really Lin Wudi? These elders were so scared that they peed their pants. Previously, they were only guessing, but now that they received confirmation from the other party, they were scared out of their wits. Run. In an instant, everyone fled in all directions. The legend of Lin Wudi had spread throughout the entire Cloud returning planet. That was an incomparably powerful supreme genius who defeated the Nether King. How could they be a match for him? Therefore, in an instant, these people fled one after another. The Chen family head's pupils shrank. He grabbed the blue gourd and instantly flew into the distance. Want to leave? Don't you think it's too late? Lin Xian snorted coldly. These families had gathered so many experts to give him a fatal blow. Now, how could he let these people leave? I'll let you see the most beautiful fireworks in the world. A golden light appeared in Lin Xian's eyes, and a golden moon spun crazily. Chapter 30, 161. In the next moment, the fleeing powerhouses all stopped in midair and looked at their own bodies in horror. All of a sudden, a small flame appeared in their hearts. Then, it turned into a dazzling firework that enveloped them. Ah! Wretched cries rang out one after another. At this moment, it was as though all of these mighty full cultivation kings were being harvested like chives, falling one after another. The elders of the 9 families also died instantly. The Chen family head roared like a madman. 3 top-grade weapons rushed out of his body, trying to protect him. But they couldn't do it. The moment they touched the flame, they collapsed. No, in the midst of his desperate screams, the Chen family head also turned into a firework and bloomed in the sky. In an instant, all the escaping Great Perfection Kings died. 61 Great Perfection Kings disappeared in the sky without leaving behind a single drop of blood. Impossible! Damn it. How is this possible? I don't believe it. Inside the blue gourd, Chen Rufing's soul watched this scene and fell into infinite horror. That was a total of 61 monarchs at the consummate level. They were all killed in an instant. Damn it. Who was this kid in front of him? What kind of demon did he provoke? No. Chen Rufing screamed like a madman. He was extremely regretful now. Why did he provoke this kid? He was too strong. This was Lin Wudi. Even the Nether King and Gao Peng couldn't fight against him. Wasn't the Chen family courting death? In the next moment, his soul knelt in midair and kowtowed continuously. Spare me. I beg you, spare me. Don't kill me. Spare you? Now, you know how to beg for mercy? Didn't you want to cut me into pieces before? Don't worry, as the instigator. I won't kill you so easily. I'll make you suffer for 10,000 years. In Lin Xian's left eye, golden runes flickered, and he activated his pupil technique. Ah! Chen Rufing's soul screamed as he fell into a spiritual space. In here, one day outside was equivalent to 10,000 years in the spiritual space. And in this spiritual space, Chen Rufing would suffer all kinds of torture. This was the price he had to pay for sending experts to kill Lin Xian. Looking at the trembling soul in front of him, Lin Xian snorted coldly, turned around, and left. Another 300 precious spiritual herbs were in his hands. He was one step closer to the Saint Breakthrough Pill. Counting the days, it was about time to collect them. Lin Xian's eyes flashed. He didn't forget that he gave one gong, Hai Yu, young Master Shen, and the others a chance. Not long ago, He had killed young Master Shin through the air, intimidating those people. Now, it was time to collect those spiritual herbs. The Fan clan was also a big clan in the northern region. However, the Fan clan had been having a hard time recently because of a genius disciple of their clan. They had no choice but to collect spirit herbs. Fan 8. The Bloody Blade Monarch is nothing in our eyes. These people were very unhappy. However, Fan Li didn't dare to stop. He could only use the resources of his branch to collect the spiritual herbs. After all, the inexplicable murder of young Master Shin had caused him too much fear. But fortunately, his branch finally collected a lot of spiritual herbs at any cost. He thought that it should be enough to satisfy the other party. On this day, a silhouette appeared in front of the Fan clan. In front of Fan Li trembled. It was him. He was finally here. He didn't expect the other party to find him so accurately. Previously, his family didn't receive any news. Even his family's guards and array couldn't stop the other party. It seemed that the other party was indeed an expert. They couldn't find him. Lin Gongzi, the things are in the storage room. Fan Li carefully handed over the storage ring. Not bad. Lin Xian nodded. Okay, from now on, our grudges are written off. Lin Xian disappeared in front of him. Did he leave? Fan Li and the martial artists beside him widened their eyes. They checked carefully and found that the other party had really disappeared. Who was this person? They couldn't even find a trace of the other party. Grandfather, I've implicated you. Fan Li smiled bitterly. If he hadn't been so arrogant and offended Lin Xian, perhaps they wouldn't have had to bleed so much and waste so many resources today. However, Grandpa Fan was relieved. Lear, you did the right thing this time. This young man is not someone we can provoke. Grandpa Fan had been secretly observing Lin Xian the moment he came in. But the more he observed, the more shocked he became, because he found that Lin Xian was like a bottomless pit. He couldn't see through him. This kind of person was definitely not someone they could provoke. Fan Li was relieved when he heard Grandpa Fan's words. Did he escape this time? He wouldn't dare to provoke others anymore. Next, Lin Xian set off one after another, arriving at the other three great clans. The three big families had also collected the herbs. After Lin Xian received the herbs, his grudges with these people were written off. Lin Xian had visited all 5 families. Now, there were only 3 families left: Wan Gong, Hai Yu, and young Master Shin. First, he went to the Shin family. Lin Xian's body flashed and flew into the distance. The Shun family was heavily guarded. Since young Master Shin was mysteriously killed, the Shun family had been on high alert. Furthermore, the Shun family had sent out countless experts to track down and investigate the enemy's tracks. As for young Master Shin's words about collecting herbs, the Shun family didn't care at all. Who was it? Stop. On this day, they saw a figure descending from the sky and walking directly towards the Shun family. Immediately, the Shun family's guards rushed forward. The Shun family owes me 100 herbs. I'm here to collect them. This figure was Lin Xian. After he arrived, he said calmly, "What? Owe him 100 herbs? What a joke. Kid, do you know where you are? Who do you think you are? How dare you come to the Shun family?" That's right. How could the Shun family owe anyone anything? Even if they did, so what? Do you still dare to ask for it? Get out of here. Otherwise, I'll break your legs. I'll make you kneel in front of the Shun family for 100 years. These guards were very ferocious. They couldn't see Lin Xian's cultivation level, but they saw that Lin Xian was alone, and his aura wasn't scary at all. In their eyes, there was nothing to be afraid of. Moreover, the Shun family was so powerful. These guards didn't care about him. One of them even walked out and said coldly, "Take him down. He might be related to the murderer." Chapter 30, 162. He, third elder brother, you are right. When the surrounding guards heard this, they revealed a sinister smile. Kid, if you want to blame someone, blame yourself for being too reckless. You actually came to my Shin family to cause trouble at this time. Don't blame us for being merciless. The 6 guards pulled out their long swords, and their aura exploded. You are courting death. Lin Xian shook his head and sighed. The next moment, a cold light flashed in his eyes. Buzz. His gaze turned into a fierce sword aura and passed through the 6 guards. Puff, puff. The 6 guards were stabbed in the glabella, and their souls were instantly destroyed. Plop. The 6 corpses fell to the ground. Before they died, they heard a sentence. It seems that young Master Shin's incident was not enough to warn you. Since that is the case, I will come personally. The 6 guards were already dead, but they now knew that the person in front of them was so terrifying, and he was the murderer of young Master Shin. Would the Shin family be able to contend against such a person? They did not know, because all of them were killed. Lin Xian's figure flashed, and he arrived at the Shin family. There is an array? After arriving, Lin Xian felt that the array in the air was very strong. There was even a terrifying aura around him that wanted to kill him. Humph! He snorted coldly and stomped his foot. Violent energy instantly spread out in all directions. With a crack, the array was crushed. The next moment, he landed in the Shin family. Boom! The destruction of the array set off a huge storm. Countless powerhouses in the Shin family roared crazily. Not good. The array is broken, and someone is coming. Damn it, what is going on? What is going on with the array? Go and investigate. Angry roars and screams were heard. Soon, they saw Lin Xian. Damn, kid, who are you? Are you the one who destroyed the array? How dare you come to the Shin family to cause trouble? Someone kill him. In an instant, more than a dozen martial artists rushed over. Their swords flashed, and the terrifying domain soared into the sky. In the face of these attacks, Lin Xian merely stomped his foot. Suddenly, the mountains collapsed, and the earth cracked. A huge crack flew into the distance, and the surrounding martial artists were all sent flying. In the air, all the attacks were shattered in an instant. The dozen or so warriors who attacked kept vomiting blood, their faces filled with horror. Too powerful. With a single stomp of his foot, the entire defensive formation was shattered. Furthermore, the aftermath of that energy had caused them to suffer serious injuries. This was a peerless expert. Hurry up and inform the elders. Countless people screamed. In fact, they didn't need to say anything. Countless old figures had already arrived in the distance. When they saw the huge crack and the broken array formation around it, their pupils shrank. Where were the enemies? Which clan is he from? They asked frantically. In their opinion, the only thing that could cause all of this was the invasion of an army. At the very least, it had to be an existence similar to their family, or even more terrifying. However, the surrounding people pointed at a young man in front of them and said, "It's him, Elder, that's him." What? Only one person? A young man at that? The elders who had rushed over were instantly stunned. Nonsense! How could a young man destroy our defensive formation? The elders did not believe it at all. However, the people around them were trembling. They saw it with their own eyes. A bunch of trash. Those elders snorted coldly. The surrounding martial artists were basically guards. Although there were many of them, their strength was far inferior to theirs. Therefore, these elders did not believe it at all. They stared at Lin Xian. "Kid, who are you? Kneel down obediently and accept your death." There was no need to talk nonsense with him. They could just capture him and take his soul. An elder snorted coldly and reached out his big hand to grab Lin Xian. Buzz. Lin Xian raised his head slightly. 2 rays of golden light burst out from his eyes, turning into 2 golden sharp swords that slashed directly at the void. With a puff, the elder's palm was split open. Elder Zhang's arm was cut off, and he let out a miserable cry. The other's expressions changed. Not good. An expert. This time, they believed it. The elder who attacked this time was a peak 9-star martial artist. He was very powerful, but he was seriously injured in an instant. This meant that the other party was definitely an expert. Hurry up and take him down together. How dare he cause trouble in the Shin family alone? Did he really think that there was no one in the Shin family? All of the elders gathered around him. There were a total of 9 elders, and each of them was extremely terrifying. The weakest one was a peak 9-star martial artist. Many of them were even at the peak. When these people attacked together, the people around them heaved a sigh of relief. That's great. With their elders attacking, let's see how the other party dies. Facing the 9 Shin family elders, Lin Xian stood with his hands behind his back. He did not move at all. However, the golden sword that he had shot into the sky earlier was tumbling nonstop. Then, it suddenly enlarged and turned into a golden mountain, pressing down on the void. The aura that it emitted made everyone tremble again. The surrounding martial artists of the Shun family trembled and knelt on the ground. The expressions of the 9 elders also changed drastically. This aura? They were too shocked. This aura was too violent. It was so violent that they could not bear it. 2 elders suddenly spat out mouthfuls of blood, and their bodies cracked. Who the hell was this person? Just the energy shockwave from the opponent's attack was already unbearable for them. If the other party attacked, they would be killed in an instant. Thinking of this, they were terrified. Stop. At this moment, another crazy roar came from afar. Following that, more people walked over. This time, the aura of the people who walked over was even more powerful. There were white-haired elders and middle-aged men who walked like tigers and dragons. The patriarch of the Shun family and the grand elders had appeared. That's great. Seeing this, the 9 elders heaved a sigh of relief. With the patriarch and the grand elders here, the other party was extremely powerful. They should be able to take him down. However, in the next moment, their eyes almost popped out of their sockets. This was because these people did not attack. Instead, they quickly said, "Young hero, please stop. Perhaps there was some misunderstanding here." That's right. Young hero, why are you attacking the Shin family? The Shin family has done something wrong in the past. We will definitely change. What? The patriarch of the Shin family and the grand elders did not attack directly. Instead, they were apologizing. The 9 elders could not believe their ears. The Shin family was so proud. Other than some of the top patriarchs, they did not care about anyone else. But now, they were lowering their heads to a young man. After hearing the patriarch of the Shin family's words, Lin Xian did not let the golden mountain in the sky fall. Previously, the young master of the Shin family owed me 100 spiritual herbs. I asked him to collect them, but he did not care. Therefore, I killed him to intimidate you. I did not expect the Shin family to be so reckless. You did not take my words seriously. What? Does the Shin family want to be exterminated? Speaking of this, Lin Xian's eyes lit up. Chapter 30, 163. What? It had something to do with young Master Shin? Hearing this, the surrounding people were all stunned. An elder screamed. Could it be that Shin Kei was killed by you? Shin Kei, who was also young Master Shin, had suddenly turned into ashes. This strange scene had made the Shin family go crazy. They had been investigating all this time, but they had not found out who the murderer was. They did not expect that the murderer would take the initiative to come to them today. Damn it, how dare you kill Shinkei? I must kill you, many people roared crazily. The family head of the Shin family and the supreme elders also frowned. A cold light flashed in their eyes. So that was why the murderer was here. However, the murderer had killed Shinkei first and then the Shin family. Did he really think that the Shin family had no one? Humph! Lin Xian snorted coldly. The golden mountain in the sky descended again. Suddenly, the void was crushed. Countless people below trembled. Those who were weaker had their bodies split open. Those who were stronger were also vomiting blood. Not good. Stop it. These people's expressions changed. They did not dare to have any killing intent. The murderer was not an ant. He was a peerless powerhouse. Even if all of them worked together, they might not be able to defeat him. Stop it. Don't go too far. Although the Shen family could not defeat you, the Shen family has many allies. Do you want to become enemies with the other 4 families? The Shen family had no choice but to form their own allies. Oh, you have allies? Lin Xian was stunned. The Shen family quickly said, "That's right. The Shen family and the other 3 families are allies. If you touch the Shen family, you will become enemies with the other 4 families. The other 3 families will not let you go. Young man, leave now, and I will let bygones be bygones. Otherwise, don't blame the Shen family for joining forces with the other 3 families to kill you." Kill me? Lin Xian laughed heartily. Looks like you guys really don't know what's good for you. He stamped his foot down, causing the ground beneath his feet to shatter. All of the Shun clan's buildings and spell formations were destroyed and transformed into smoke. As for the others, their bodies were trembling and they were no longer breathing. At this moment, they felt as if they were on the verge of death. The Shen family had been split apart. The head of the Shen family and the Taishang elders screamed crazily. It was too terrifying. The other party was able to create such a terrifying scene with just a stomp of his foot. Even the Shen family was almost annihilated. They no longer dared to be arrogant in front of such a person. Lin Xian retracted his foot and said coldly, "What? Are you convinced?" He gritted his teeth and said, "I want to know why you are targeting my Shin family." Lin Xian sneered. He looked at one of the Shin family's Taishang elders and said calmly, "If an ant was arrogant, provoking, and insulting you, what would you do?" Since it was an ant, "You would naturally kill it mercilessly," the Taishang elder said, subconsciously. The next moment, his expression turned cold. Could it be Shinkei? That's right. You know the reason, right? Lin Xian snorted coldly. The others broke out in cold sweat. It looked like Shinkei had provoked this young man in front of them, and this young man was a super strong cultivator. Strong cultivators had their dignity. The power of a strong cultivator was not to be trifled with. If a weak cultivator provoked them, they would definitely kill him mercilessly. They would be killed with a slap. Similarly, if Shun Kei challenged a super strong cultivator, he would definitely be killed by the super strong cultivator. Damn it, this Shinkei is actually acting so recklessly. He even implicated the Shun family. After hearing the news, the Shun family's powerful cultivators roared in anger. Before this, they wanted to avenge Shin Quebec, but now they hated Shinkei to death. It was because Shinkei had provoked a godlike existence. Shinkei was reckless and provoked the young master. He deserved to be killed. What kind of elixirs do you need? The Shen family will definitely collect them for you, the Shen family's patriarch said in a low voice. They had no choice. In front of such a strong cultivator, they did not dare to resist at all. Moreover, it was indeed their Shinkei who provoked him first. The fact that the other party did not directly destroy the Shen family was already very respectful and merciful. Don't worry, I will do it myself. Lin Xian raised his head and formed a seal with his palms. Suddenly, Above his head, a pair of golden eyes suddenly opened. It was as if the eyes of a god were looking down. That gaze completely enveloped the entire Shin family. Everyone felt that their souls were penetrated. It was as if their lives were in the hands of that pair of eyes. They all knelt on the ground, trembling. Even the patriarch of the Shin family and the Taishang elders felt their scalps tingle. It was too powerful. Fortunately, they did not resist. Otherwise, the other party would probably kill them instantly. After Lin Xian activated his Tianji divine eyes, he directly looked for the Shen family. A large family like the Shen family would definitely have a spiritual herb garden and a spiritual herb warehouse. Therefore, Lin Xian directly collected 300 stalks of spiritual herbs. After that, Lin Xian left the Shen family. After Lin Xian left for a long time the patriarch of the Shen family, and the elders finally dared to stand up, they looked at the disappearing figures around them and heaved a sigh of relief. The others also felt that they had a new lease of life. Next to the Hai family, Lin Xian turned into a rainbow and disappeared into the sky. Unexpectedly, just as Lin Xian arrived near the Hai family, Hai Yu appeared. At this moment, Hai Yu became even more enchanting. She looked at Lin Xian, and the corners of her mouth curled up into a cold smile. I've already collected all the spirit herbs. Now, let's see if you have the right to take them. After saying this, her figure flashed and rushed into the distance. She was going in the opposite direction of the Hai family. Lin Xian scanned with his soul spirit and felt the aura of a large amount of spiritual herbs on Hai Yu's body. He immediately followed her. He was not afraid of the other party's tricks. As long as the other party really had spiritual herbs, it was fine. After flying for about a few million miles, Hai Yu stopped. I didn't expect you to really come. I don't know if you really don't know what's good for you, or you are extremely daring. If there is an ambush, hurry up and let them out. I don't have time to waste here with you. Lin Xian said coldly. You know, Hai Yu was stunned. Looks like you are not an idiot, but you know, and still dare to come. You really don't know what's good for you. Do you think you can fight against me? Do you think you can do anything to me? You are too naive. There is no need for the Hai family to do anything. Someone else can take care of you today. Oh, it's not the Hai family? Lin Xian was stunned. He originally thought that the Hai family had set up an inescapable net here and was waiting for him. But from the looks of it, it shouldn't be the Hai family. Then who is it? Lin Xian didn't care at all. Husband, come out. Hai Yu looked at the distant mountains and said with a smile. Husband? Lin Xian was stunned. Could it be Wang Gong? The Wan family? But soon he realized that it wasn't Wang Gong. A green figure quickly rushed from the distance. Soon, a person wearing a green robe appeared. This person looked cold and gloomy. He seemed to be middle-aged, but his real age was unknown. The aura emitted from his body was very terrifying. As soon as he appeared, he took Hai Yu into his arms. Hai Yu said softly, Husband, it's him. It's this guy who wants to kill me. You have to help me get rid of him. Chapter 30, 164. This kid? The green-robed man glanced at Lin Xian with a hint of disdain in his eyes. At the next moment, he raised his hand, and a ball of green mist directly enveloped Lin Xian. Buzz. The space around Lin Xian quickly shattered, as though it was being corroded by the poisonous gas. Ha! I was wondering what kind of expert I was, but it turns out that you're just an idiot. You can't even dodge my attack. Don't worry, beauty. He has been poisoned by me and won't be able to survive. The green-robed man laughed. Can't dodge? You think too highly of yourself. Your poisonous gas won't be able to cause me any harm. A voice came from the poisonous gas in front. Then a palm stretched out and tore the poisonous gas apart. He's not poisoned? How is this possible? The green-robed man was stunned. Haiyu, who was in his arms, also froze. She quickly reminded her husband, "Husband, you have to be careful. This kid is very strange." The green-robed man frowned. "He can actually defend against my poisonous gas? Kid, interesting. Which clan are you from? Tell me your name." "I, the green-robed ancestor, won't kill nameless people." "Green-robed ancestor?" Lin Xian sneered. "You dare to call yourself an ancestor? Hurry up and scram, or I'll kill you." "Kid, you're courting death." The green-robed ancestor was enraged. He transformed into a beam of green light and instantly rushed out. A palm surrounded by green poisonous gas grabbed at Lin Xian's heart like a devil's claw. "Humph!" Lin Xian coldly snorted and punched out. With a bang, it collided with the green devil's claw. At the next moment, the green-robed ancestor screamed miserably and retreated. His entire arm was directly shattered. Not only that, the aftershock of the energy hit his body, causing half of his body to explode into a mist of blood. The green-robed ancestor was seriously injured with a single strike. At the back, Haiyu screamed when she saw this scene. Her eyes were filled with shock. How is this possible? How is he so powerful? She was very clear about the green-robed ancestor's strength. Furthermore, this green-robed ancestor was very fond of beautiful women. In order to protect her life, Haiyu had no choice but to become the green-gowned ancestor's cultivation vessel. She hoped that the green-gowned ancestor would be able to protect her, but now, in just one move, half of the green-robed ancestor's body was shattered. Lin Xian, on the other hand, was completely unaffected. Haiyu was alarmed by this huge contrast. "This is the expert you found? You want to use such a person to kill me?" Lin Xian looked at Haiyu and shook his head. This woman was too stupid. Haiyu's heart sank to the bottom of the sea. She was filled with despair. On the other side, the green-robed ancestor's body reassembled. His face was filled with malice. "Damn brat, you actually dared to hurt me? I will make you pay a painful price." "Don't worry, little beauty. I still have a trump card that I haven't used yet." He glanced at Haiyu, then turned around and stared at Lin Xian. "Kid, you're very strong." His physical body was very strong, and so was his strength. "But so what? In front of my strength, you won't be able to withstand a single blow. Next, I will let you experience a power that is close to the Tao." The green-robed ancestor laughed malevolently. Haiyu's body trembled, and hope returned to her eyes. Yes, the reason why she joined the green-robed ancestor was because she heard that he had grasped this kind of power. Once this power was used, it would be much stronger than Wan Gong and the Bloody Blade Monarch. It far surpassed the king level. After Lin Xian heard this, a trace of surprise appeared on his face. "Oh, a power that is close to the Tao. You actually grasp this kind of power?" "Yes, that's right. This kid has a power that is close to the Tao." You're afraid, right? Kneel down and beg for mercy now. I will consider torturing you for a few 100 years. Otherwise, I will make you suffer for the rest of your life." Haiyu's eyes also regained hope. "Kid, let's see how you will die this time." The opponent would definitely not be able to block this kind of power that is close to the Tao. Lin Xian was somewhat expectant. "Then show me your power. Let me see how much you have comprehended." Hearing this question that sounded like an elder asking, the green-robed ancestor was angered again. "You're courting death. Since that's the case, I will show you." A piercingly cold green light appeared in the green-robed ancestor's eyes. Countless poisonous gas surged on his body. He opened his mouth and spat out a stream of dark green poisonous gas, which transformed into a dark green giant sword and flew forward. This dark green longsword's aura was indeed different. It carried a mysterious and unfathomable power. As soon as it appeared, it shattered the void and seemed to be able to corrode everything. How terrifying! Hai Yu's body trembled, and she instantly knelt down. She fled into the distance, as if she had gone crazy. Was this the power that is close to the Tao? The moment it appeared, it suppressed her, and she could not resist at all. Thinking of this, her face was full of excitement. Then I'm dead for sure. That kid will definitely not be able to block it. She raised her head and looked into the distance. As expected, she saw Lin Xian standing there without dodging. He won't be able to escape. When I use this power, he won't even be able to run away. The green-robed ancestor also laughed. In his opinion, this sword was enough to kill the other party. Golden light flickered in Lin Xian's eyes as he stared at the flying green sword. The power of poison? He could feel that it carried a monstrous poison that could instantly kill a peak powerhouse. It was indeed a power that was close to the Tao, but it was too weak. The other party's power was only equivalent to Jun Wuya's. Compared to him, there was still a huge gap. In the next moment, he raised his palm and grabbed the sword with the power of annihilation. You dare to resist with your bare hands? What an idiot. Kid, I guess you haven't seen a power that's close to the Tao in your life, right? Let me tell you, this is a power that surpasses that of a king. It's very close to a half-step sage, yet you dare to resist it with your physical body? Who do you think you are? A sacred body? Let me tell you, even a sacred body will collapse under this power. The green-robed ancestor laughed loudly. However, in the next moment, his voice came to an abrupt stop, as if someone had grabbed his neck. Impossible! His eyeballs almost popped out because the other party had grabbed the green sword that he had thrown out. The green sword flickered with the power of poison. It was covered in runes that flickered incomparably. At this moment, it was like a small snake that kept twisting and turning, as if it wanted to break free from Lin Xian's palm, but it couldn't do it at all. Lin Xian's palm was covered with the power of annihilation as he grabbed the sword. Then he activated his heavenly secret divine eyes to the extreme. In his left eye, the plenilune seed kept jumping. How could Lin Xian give up after seeing a new power? He had to quickly comprehend and analyze it. He wanted to strengthen his understanding of the world. Damn it, how is this possible? How could you possibly catch my sword? On the other side, the green-robed ancestor went crazy. Hai Yu was also dumbfounded. She couldn't understand a battle at this level at all. However, the green-robed ancestor knew. When a power that was close to the Tao was used, apart from a true sage or a half-step sage, only people who had the same power could resist it. If the other party could block it, it meant that the other party had a power that was close to the Tao in his hand. Chapter 3165. Damn it, was the other party also a top genius? Thinking of this, the green-robed ancestor's face became incomparably cold. He opened his mouth and spat out a green fan again. This green fan was engraved with runes and carried an extremely terrifying corrosive power. As soon as it appeared, the void shattered, forming a huge black hole. Go to hell! This was a half-step sacred artifact, and at this moment, he was using it to the extreme. Moreover, in addition to the power that was close to the Tao, in an instant, countless green poisonous winds danced rapidly and swept towards Lin Xian, as if they wanted to kill Lin Xian. Lin Xian used his movement technique and moved back and forth in space. He was not in a hurry to make a move. Instead, he used the heavenly secret divine eyes and the plenilune seed to quickly observe. He even took the risk and used his body to resist the power of the poison. It was a terrifying power that could poison everything. Even if there was no life, it could instantly corrode. Lin Xian was greatly enlightened. To be honest, he was currently in the stage of comprehending the great Tao of heaven and earth, so he would not miss out on every fight with someone who had a power that was close to the Tao. Damn brat, if you have the ability, fight me head on. On the other side, the green-robed ancestor was going crazy with anger because he realized that the power he attacked directly hit the void, but it did not kill the other party. The other party's speed was too strange. He actually could not hit the other party. This made him roar incomparably. However, Lin Xian did not care at all. This continued for a period of time. The green-robed ancestor was about to collapse. At this moment, Lin Xian retracted his gaze. He had already sensed enough and did not continue to comprehend, because the power of poison was not what he needed. He only needed to understand it. Next, it was time to understand it. Lin Xian's eyes burst out with a biting cold light. With a cold shout, a few black runes rushed out of his body. It was very strange and flew above the poison gas. Immediately, the poison gas melted like ice and quickly disappeared. Damn it! How was this possible? The green-robed ancestor was stunned. What was going on? His poison gas could corrode everything, but now his poison gas was actually corroded. What was this? Could it be that the other party had mastered an even more powerful poison? What kind of poison could be more powerful than the power of the Tao? Annihilation Sword Lotus. Lin Xian unleashed his sword qi, combined with the power of annihilation. It formed a sword qi lotus that enveloped the area in front of him. Damn it, get out of my sight. The green-robed old ancestor used his semi-sage tool to fight against it. Oh, half-saint tool? Lin Xian was shocked. No wonder the other party was so arrogant. Not only had he comprehended a power that was close to the Tao, but he also had a powerful half-step sacred tool. Thinking of this, his figure flickered, and he instantly appeared in front of the other party, throwing out a punch. With a loud boom, the punch landed on his opponent's body. Pung! The green-robed ancestor's body was smashed into pieces. Green blood splattered in all directions, and a miserable cry rang out. The green-robed ancestor hurriedly controlled the half-step sage artifact to protect his body and reassemble it. In the next moment, his face turned incomparably pale. Damn it, I'm going to kill you. As if he had gone mad, he used the half-step sage artifact to the extreme and even burned his spiritual power. Lin Xian snorted coldly. He stretched out a large golden hand and directly grabbed the half-step sage artifact, firmly locking it in place. His other palm once again struck out with the Annihilation Sword Lotus and pushed it forward. Boom! This time, the Annihilation Sword Lotus completely enveloped the green-robed ancestor. Then, the green-robed ancestor disappeared into thin air. He was dead. In the distance, Haiyu trembled when she saw this scene. The green-robed ancestor's soul didn't even manage to escape. He was killed just like that. This was impossible. She finally screamed crazily. She was really on the verge of collapse. That was a power that was close to the Tao. How terrifying! It had completely surpassed the king level. But now, he was actually killed so easily. Who was this young man in front of her? Lin Xian turned his head to look at Haiyu. With a plop, Haiyu knelt on the ground, her body trembling. Lin Gongzi, spare me. I beg you, spare my life. Haiyu was really scared. Even a powerful figure like the green-robed ancestor was killed, let alone her. Lin Xian said coldly, "Where are the spiritual herbs I want? They're here. They're all here." Haiyu hurriedly took out a storage ring. Lin Xian stretched out a large golden hand. After receiving the storage ring, his soul entered it. Then he kept it. He glanced at Haiyu and directly pierced through the latter's forehead with his sword. Puff! Haiyu fell weakly with her eyes wide open. It seemed that she didn't expect Lin Xian to directly kill her without saying anything. Next, it was the Wan family's turn. Lin Xian's eyes flickered. He had already sensed that the flame restriction left in Haiyu and Wan Gang's body was gone. This was also the reason why they dared to resist. Thinking about it, Wan Gong should be the same. But, so what? Lin Xian's figure flickered and quickly flew towards the Wan family's residence. Ever since the flame in Wan Gang's body was removed, he was completely relieved. Now his life was finally in his hands again. However, this made him gnash his teeth. As a genius of the Tiangang sect, when had he ever been threatened like this? Therefore, he couldn't wait to tear Lin Xian into pieces now. Wan Gong planned to use the power of his family to find Lin Xian, but he didn't expect Lin Xian to take the initiative to come to him. When Wan Gong saw Lin Xian in the Wan family's residence, he was shocked. But soon, he revealed a sinister expression. "Damn brat. You actually dare to come?" Lin Xian looked calm. "Where are the spiritual herbs I want? Have you prepared them? Brat, you're courting death. Who do you think you are to dare to ask me to gather spiritual herbs for you? You even dare to put a flame restriction on me? Today, I'll make sure you don't leave." Wan Gang's expression was sinister. "You still dare to be arrogant in front of me? It seems that your Wan family is not much. You're not well informed at all. If you knew the reactions of the other families, I'm afraid you wouldn't dare to talk to me like this now." When he heard this, Wan Gong frowned. What's going on? Could it be that the Shun family and the Hai family had submitted to him? What a joke! Although Lin Xian had some connections with the Bloody Blade monarch, how could he make such a big family submit to him? This brat must be playing a trick. Wan Gong snorted coldly. "Brat, don't waste your breath. If you dare to come here today, I'll make sure you don't leave." "Men, take him down." With a roar, the surrounding martialists of the Wan family immediately rushed over. "Young master, what's going on?" Wan Gang's status in the Wan family was similar to Chen Rufeng's. They were both sons of the family head. Therefore, his status was very precious. When they heard the order, the martialists of the Wan family appeared one after another. Wan Gong pointed at the figure in the field and said, "Capture him. I want him alive. I want to torture him for 1,000 years. Yes, the surrounding martialists agreed. Then they raised their heads and looked into the distance. Chapter 30, 166. They frowned. What's going on? How did this kid get in? They had no idea. However, since their young master had spoken, they had to take action. "You guys go and take him down," a middle-aged man said in a deep voice. Immediately, 3 martial artists walked up. Their chi and blood surged in their bodies. With a monstrous power, they enveloped Lin Xian. "You're courting death." Lin Xian snorted. Dozens of sword chi rushed out from his body and turned into a ray of light that shrouded the entire space. Pung pung pung. The 3 martial artists who attacked were instantly beheaded. Not only that, but the surrounding martial artists were also pierced through by the sword chi and nailed to the void. They let out miserable cries as their eyes were filled with fear. An expert. This was a peerless expert. The opponent could pierce through dozens of them in an instant. Such a person was too terrifying. They wanted to scream, but the sword chi still wiped out their lives. The only one who survived was Wan Gong. However, Wan Gong was also nailed to the void by 5 sharp swords. Blood flowed out and dyed his body red. Wan Gong let out a miserable cry. His scalp was about to explode. How could the opponent be so terrifying? To be honest, he knew that the opponent had some ability to make the Bloody Blade monarch submit, but he did not expect the opponent to be so strong. The opponent killed dozens of his guards in an instant. The sword chi even pierced through him. He cultivated the Heaven Star body. It was so powerful. However, in front of the opponent, he was as weak as a piece of paper. "Father, save me!" Wan Gong screamed like a madman. He knew that the person in front of him was not someone he could fight against. He had to call for the real experts. Boom, boom, boom. The Wan family was a big family after all. Therefore, what happened here spread to the entire Wan family. Whoosh. 7 or 8 figures descended. Each of them was extremely old and brought about a powerful storm. They were the elders of the Wan family. When they came down, they saw dozens of martial artists' corpses on the ground. Their pupils constricted. Damn it! Someone dared to kill people from the Wan families? When they saw Wan Gong being stared at in the void and bleeding profusely, they instantly screamed, "Young master!" Wan Gang's identity was extremely precious. He was the son of the Wan family head. If there were no accidents, he would be the next Wan family head. But now, he was actually beaten to such a state. Nailed to the void. Damn it, who is it? It was this brat. When they saw Lin Xian, the 7 elders were instantly enraged. Go, kill him! A large hand, like a purple cloud of fire, covered the sky and enveloped the other party. A black longsword, exuding a biting cold, killing intent, shattered the void as soon as it appeared and pierced toward Lin Xian's head. A long saber cut through the void, as if it was going to cut Lin Xian in half. In an instant, these people attacked as if they had gone crazy. Boom. Lin Xian also made a move. A golden fist punched into the void. With a loud boom, the purple flaming hand was shattered. The black long sword shattered into pieces, and the berserk saber broke into 2 halves. The entire void exploded, and the 7 elders were instantly reduced to a bloody mist. Boom. This strike formed a huge black hole in the sky, as if it was connected to hell. Dead. The 7 elders were all dead. Wan Gong, who was at the side, widened his eyes. His lower body was wet from fear. To be honest, he never thought that the other party would be so powerful. Those were 7 elders. They couldn't even block a single punch from the other party. At this moment, the people who rushed over also saw this scene. They were instantly stunned on the spot, their bodies trembling. Demon, what kind of person is this? Not good. Hurry up and alert the others. Everyone screamed. The Wan family let out a loud bell, which would only be sounded when a life and death enemy came. They didn't expect that the Wan family would let out such a bell again after a few hundred years. A few hundred years ago, when a strong enemy came, the same thing happened to the Wan family. In the end, the Wan family settled it. They didn't expect it to happen again after a few hundred years. All the experts of the Wan family opened their eyes and rushed over. The surrounding formations lit up and the killing formations shot into the sky. It could be said that the Wan family had become an impenetrable fortress. The patriarch of the Wan family even rushed over with the 10 elders. Father! When Wan Gong saw the patriarch of the Wan family, he screamed crazily, "Father, save me! Kill him! You must kill him!" The patriarch of the Wan family's face instantly turned gloomy, and his eyes were filled with killing intent. The 10 elders also gasped, "Hurry up and let Wan Gong go!" Roars sounded like thunder from the 9 heavens, shattering the void. Buzz. Lin Xian's body burst with light, suppressing the entire area. All of the energy was blocked by him. "Kid, let him go. Kneel down and accept your death." Cold shouts could be heard. "How dare you behave atrociously in the Wan family? You're courting death. No one can provoke the Wan family. You'll definitely die. The Wan family can't be humiliated like this. The Wan family can't be humiliated. What about me? Am I the only one who can be humiliated?" Lin Xian's eyes emitted a cold light. The strong couldn't be humiliated either. Wan Gong provoked me, so he'll definitely die. Don't tell me you don't understand this logic. Lin Xian looked ahead. Hearing this, the patriarch of the Wan family and the 10 elders' pupils constricted. At the next moment, they snorted. "Kid, what kind of expert are you? That's right, in front of the Wan family, you're just an ant. Am I not an expert? Lin Xian sneered. In the next moment, his eyes lit up and his figure disappeared. Not good. These people rushed out of their king domains as if they were facing a great enemy. Someone, kill him, the patriarch of the Wan family roared. However, in the next moment, they screamed. That was because a figure appeared in front of them. The sword Qi emitted from his body was like a divine sword that pierced through them. Their king domains and battle armors were like pieces of paper. They couldn't withstand it at all. In an instant, the thousands of Wan family's experts were all pierced through. As for the 10 elders, they were all killed by Lin Xian with a single punch. Bang! Half of the patriarch of the Wan family's body was shattered. He gritted his teeth and activated a secret technique to dodge. After that attack, Lin Xian stood in the middle of the field. There was no one around him. Thousands of experts and 10 elders had all turned into a bloody mist. In the distance, more cultivators saw this scene and trembled. They directly knelt on the ground. The Wan family still had people, but they were much weaker than the thousands of experts from before. Even the 10 elders were killed in an instant, let alone them. Therefore, in an instant, everyone felt despair. Wan Gong was even more dumbfounded. His brain felt as if it had been struck by lightning. Impossible! Damn it! Impossible! The 10 elders? Where are you? The patriarch of the Wan family roared, crazily. He discovered that the 10 elders were dead. Thousands of Wan family's experts were dead. How could he bear this? The Wan family relied on these people to support them. But now they were all gone. What would happen to the Wan family in the future? Damn it, how could this kid be so terrifying? The patriarch of the Wan family looked at Lin Xian, his body trembling. In the next moment, his expression became ferocious. Kid, I want you dead. Grand Elder Qing. Chapter 30, 167. A small red cauldron rushed out of his head and swayed in the sky. Endless runes enveloped the entire Wan family. In the next moment, in the depths of the Wan family, there was a loud bang and 2 thunderous roars. Then, a terrifying power, like a vast ocean, came from afar. Feeling this power, the Wan family warriors who were kneeling in the distance all raised their heads. The Grand Elders had come out of seclusion. The Grand Elders were coming. That kid was definitely dead. Wan Gong also came back to his senses and became excited. Kid, just wait for your death. Our Grand Elders have comprehended the power that is close to the Tao. You definitely won't be able to resist them. The Wan family's patriarch shouted to welcome the 2 Grand Elders. The 2 Grand Elders, one tall and one short. Their clothes fluttered with a powerful and mysterious power. As soon as they appeared, they bent the void. They looked at the mess below and were instantly enraged. The aura on their bodies erupted like a volcano, shooting into the sky. Damn it, who is it? How dare you kill the experts of my Wan family? Naturally, he could sense that over 1,000 experts had been wiped out. The surrounding blood carried a monstrous aura, causing the 2 Grand Elders to tremble all over. It's him. It's this kid. 2 Grand Elders, please make your move. The Wan family's patriarch pointed forward. What? A young man. In the sky, the 2 Grand Elders of the Wan family stared at Lin Xian, and their pupils shrank to the size of needles. They thought that a top-old monster had come to their Wan family, but they didn't expect it to be a young man. Kid, go to hell. One of the Grand Elders roared. Kid, go to hell. The taller Supreme Elder let out a furious roar, shattering the void in all directions. Above his head, a star appeared. It floated up and down like the moon, and as soon as it appeared, it crushed the sky. The Wan family's patriarch retreated frantically and set up a formation to envelop the remaining people of the Wan family. He wanted to save Gong, but he couldn't get close at all, so he could only give up. Now, he could only place his hopes on the two Grand Elders. He wasn't particularly worried. The two Grand Supreme Elders had both comprehended powers that were close to the Tao. One of them was the tall Grand Supreme Elder, who had comprehended the power of the stars. The other short Grand Elder is also very terrifying. He has comprehended the power of ice. At this moment, the stars in the sky flickered as if it was a real world of stars. It was incomparably vast, and a terrifying power surged towards Lin Xian. Die, brat! The tall Supreme Elder revealed a ferocious expression. Even a Peak King would not be able to withstand such power. Only a half-saint would be able to withstand it. Boom! The space where Lin Xian was standing instantly shattered, forming an incomparably deep black abyss. It was over. The short Grand Elder sneered. The others all let out a sigh of relief. Was this the power of a Grand Elder? Too frightening! Even such a terrifying Devil King was crushed in one move. Well, he was already dead. The Wan clan suffered heavy losses and needed to be reorganized. The tall Supreme Elder said in a clear voice. His body slowly descended, but just as he landed on the ground, he was stunned. All the hair on his body stood on end. This was because a figure walked out of the black hole in front of him. Was this your power that was close to the Tao? It was just SOL. What? He wasn't injured? How was this possible? The tall Supreme Elder instantly soared into the sky, his eyes filled with shock. The other short Grand Elder was the same. The two of them were completely stunned. The faces of the Wan clan members in the distance turned ashen. They fell into despair. Once again, was he still human? He should have been destroyed in both body and soul after being hit by a star that was close to the Tao, but there wasn't even a single crack on his body. What kind of physique was this? Perhaps even the top Big Dipper body of the Big Dipper sect couldn't compare to him. Brat, who are you? The tall Supreme Elder asked in shock. He realized that the other party was too strong, beyond his expectations. Such a person must have an extraordinary background. Lin Xian said arrogantly, You don't have the right to know my name. Now, you should feel my power that is close to the Tao. He clenched his hand into a fist and punched out with the power of annihilation. Boom, boom, boom. Everywhere it passed, the void was quickly annihilated. Not good. Feeling this power, the tall Supreme Elder's pupils constricted. He quickly blocked the star in front of him. At the same time, he frantically retreated. With a boom, the power of the star was directly turned into nothingness and disappeared in the void. What kind of power was this? It could actually dissolve my star power. The tall Supreme Elder was stunned. This brat had also comprehended a power that was close to the Tao, and it was very strong. It was very strange. Boss, let's attack together. He looked at the short Supreme Elder. The short Supreme Elder nodded. In the next moment, the two of them stood out. One was the power of the stars, the other was the power of ice. Two powers that were close to the Tao spread in the void, and then attacked Lin Xian. Go to hell for me. This time, they were full of confidence. Sword. Lin Xian shouted coldly. The power of annihilation formed a pitch-black demonic sword that emitted a monstrous light. With a slash of the sword, the power of the stars was destroyed. With another slash, the power of ice also quickly faded away. Buzz. At the same time, a red light appeared in Lin Xian's eyes. With a boom, the two Supreme Elders screamed. Their bodies burned fiercely, and the flames engulfed them. Ah, damn it! Increase the pressure. The short Supreme Elder screamed, crazily and urged the power of ice to suppress the flames. But he realized that he could not do it at all. How was this possible? His power of ice was close to the Tao. What kind of flames could not be extinguished, unless it was a flame that was close to the Tao? Moreover, that power was even more terrifying than his power of ice. Damn it, who was this brat? They were stunned. Boom. With a loud bang, the tall Supreme Elder self-detonated. He wanted to escape the flames, but he was still unable to do so. Lin Xian's power of fire was close to the law fragment. It was far from what these two Supreme Elders could resist. Thus, amidst the endless screams, the two utmost exalted elders were reduced to ashes. Dead, the Wan family head's eyeballs almost popped out. The other warriors of the Wan family all fainted from fright. Wan Gong was trembling all over. He was killed to the point of pissing his pants again. Those were two Supreme Elders. They grasped two powers that were close to the Tao. How powerful! But now, they were easily killed by the other party. Who was this person? He actually provoked such a demon king. Thinking of this, Wan Gong was extremely regretful. The Wan family head also had a face of despair. Now, he wished he could kick his son to death. This was an extremely terrifying demon king. It was very likely that his entire Wan family would be completely destroyed. What other trump cards does your Wan family have? Show them all. If not, you can go to hell. A cold light appeared in Lin Xian's eyes. Chapter 30, 168. No, the patriarch of the Wan family roared crazily. He wanted to beg for mercy, but he knew that the chances were slim. Experts had dignity. If someone came to the Wan family to behave atrociously, he would definitely destroy their entire family. Therefore, the other party would not spare them either. Just as the Wan family was in despair, the jade pendant on Wan Gang's body suddenly shone. In the next moment, Wan Gong cried out excitedly, "Elda's senior brother! Elda's senior brother is nearby!" This jade pendant was the communication treasure of the Tiangang sect's core disciples. The eldest senior brother that Wan Gong mentioned was the top disciple of the Tiangang sect, the number one genius, Gao Peng. Therefore, sensing the jade pendant's reaction, Wan Gong sent a voice transmission crazily. "Eldest senior brother, come save me. Someone wants to kill me." Wan Gong was very nervous. He looked at Lin Xian, afraid that Lin Xian would kill him at this time. However, he was stunned because Lin Xian did not kill him at all, nor did he stop him. He seemed to have tacitly approved of this. Damn it, what's going on? Isn't this kid afraid? Humph, how is that possible? No matter how strong he is, he can't beat eldest senior brother. Eldest senior brother is someone who can contend with the Nether King. Is Gao Peng coming? The patriarch of the Wan family, and the other warriors of the Wan family regained hope in their eyes. Gao Peng was the number one genius of the Tiangang sect. How powerful was he? Although he had lost the battle at Tianxiong Peak, it was a glorious defeat. His reputation also swept across the entire Return Cloud planet very quickly. Although Wan Gong was young, only 500 years old, his strength might be even more powerful than the two Grand Elders. Thinking of this, the Wan family members became excited. Sure enough, not long after, a figure descended from the sky. It was a young man with a tall figure and a strong physique. He also had a mysterious aura. He descended like a god-fiend in the Wan family. But after landing, he frowned. The Wan family was too tragic. The entire Wan family was torn apart, blood was everywhere, and it was still surging in the sky, emitting ghostly wails and wolf howls. It was obvious that a fierce battle had taken place here. "Eldest senior brother, you're here. Save me." When Wan Gong saw that figure, he immediately shouted excitedly. The head of the Wan family hurried over to greet young Master Gao. Please save my Wan family, young Master Gao. Gao Peng frowned. Who is it? How dare he be so presumptuous? To be honest, Wan Gang's identity was really not ordinary. Speaking of which, he was Gao Peng's junior brother. He was also the closed-door disciple of the Tiangang sect leader. The sect master of the Heavenly Dipper sect was very fond of him. Therefore, as the eldest senior brother, Gao Peng naturally had to take care of him. Seeing Wan Gong nailed to the ground and the Wan clan in ruins, Gao Peng was enraged. Not to mention the Wan clan's identity. Just the fact that Wan Gong was a member of the Heavenly Dipper sect was enough for him to not interfere. In the next moment, he turned his head and stared at the figure in front of him. His eyes were filled with killing intent. It's you. Before he could finish his sentence, he saw Lin Xian's face in the next moment. He was stunned, and the murderous aura that filled the air quickly disappeared. It's you? This time, Gao Peng's voice had changed. What? You want to attack me? Lin Xian said indifferently. I wouldn't dare. Gao Peng hurriedly lowered his head and greeted Lin Gongzi. What? Seeing this, the head of the Wan family and Wan Gong were all stunned. What was going on? They felt as if they were dreaming. Their hope, Gao Peng, was actually bowing to Lin Xian? How could this be? They felt as if they had been struck by lightning. Oh, you know me? Lin Xian smiled faintly. Gao Peng lowered his head even more. Naturally, after the battle at Tianqiong Peak, young Master Gao's fame spread throughout the entire cloud-returning planet. Who didn't know him? To be honest, Gao Peng was a proud and confident person. However, in front of Lin Xian, he couldn't raise his head at all. He had no choice. The scene at Tianqiong Peak was still deeply imprinted in his mind. He probably wouldn't be able to escape from Lin Xian's shadow for the next 1,000 years. Lin Xian was someone who could easily defeat the Nether King. If he wanted to kill him, it would be a piece of cake. How dare Wan Gong and the Wan family provoke such a person? They even wanted to drag him down with them? Thinking of this, Gao Peng was furious. Young Master Gao, the head of the Wan family, said softly. Gao Peng shouted coldly, Shut up! The head of the Wan family was shocked. His body trembled, and he quickly shut up. Wan Gong, who was beside him, said, Eldest senior brother, what's going on? Help me take revenge. He's the murderer. Humph. Gao Peng stood up and directly slapped Wan Gong to the ground. Half of Wan Gang's body was smashed. He fell to the ground with a dumbfounded expression. Eldest senior brother, why did you hit me? Help me take revenge. I'm your junior brother. Shut up. I don't have a junior brother like you. Gao Peng shouted coldly. How dare you offend Lin Gongzi? It wouldn't be too much even if you died 100 times. Who is he? Who exactly is he? Eldest senior brother. Why are you afraid of him? You're a top genius. Wan Gong screamed crazily, but soon he was slapped again. Gao Peng said coldly, If you want to die, don't drag me down with you. Lin Gongzi is so powerful. I'm no match for him, and I don't dare to make him my enemy. Gao Peng snorted when he saw the head of the Wan family and Wan Gang's confused expressions. They were indeed small families. They didn't even know who the other party was. If they knew, they wouldn't dare to be so arrogant. Gao Peng said coldly, Do you know about the battle at Tianqiong Peak? The two of them nodded silently. Gao Peng continued. During the battle at Tianqiong Peak, Lin Gongzi defeated the Nether King and became famous. How dare you offend Lin Gongzi? Hurry up and kowtow and admit your mistake. What? The head of the Wan family and Wan Gong were stunned. During the battle at Tianqiong Peak, the other party defeated the Nether King? How was that possible? The one who defeated the Nether King was Lin Wudi. Wait, Lin Gongzi? Lin Wudi? The next moment, the two of them trembled. You're Lin Wudi. Even if they were stupid, they knew it now. Thinking of this, their faces were filled with despair. Lin Wuti, they had offended Lin Wuti. No one of the other party was so powerful. He had killed most of the Wan family's experts with a raise of his hand. No wonder Gao Peng had to be careful when he saw the other party. This was Lin Wuti, the supreme existence who had defeated the Nether King. The Nether King was so terrifying. He had appeared for a few days and suppressed the Cloud Return Planet's geniuses until they couldn't breathe. Even Gao Peng had been defeated by him. That was such a powerful genius, but he was easily defeated by Lin Wuti. One could imagine how terrifying Lin Wuti was. The next moment, the two of them hurriedly knelt on the ground and kowtowed nonstop. Lord Lin Wuti, we were wrong. Please spare the Wan family. Yes, 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 I have eyes and am not Mao Tai. I deserve to die. Wan Gong also kowtowed nonstop. His head was bleeding. However, he still didn't dare to raise his head. The Wan family's cultivators in the distance were in despair. Many of them were scared to death. Chapter 30, 169. Lin Xian said calmly with his hands behind his back, I can spare the rest of the Wan clan, but the two of you will definitely die. Hearing this, the people in the distance heaved a sigh of relief. The head of the Wan clan and Wan Gong trembled, and their eyes were filled with despair. Gao Peng kept his head down, not daring to show any dissatisfaction. Lin Xian waved his hand, and two balls of flames enveloped the two of them, burning them to ashes. Wan Gong and the head of the Wan clan didn't even have the time to scream before they were killed. At this time, Lin Xian said coldly, the Wan clan can be spared from death, but they can't escape punishment. I'll take all your clan's savings. Do you have any objections? In the distance, the warriors of the Wan clan knelt on the ground and said respectfully, no. How could they resist? The fact that Lin Xian didn't kill them was already the greatest kindness. As for the resources, they didn't dare to think about it now. Good. Lin Xian nodded. Then countless golden hands rushed out of his body and took away all the resources and elixirs collected by the Wan clan. Then Lin Xian flew up and left the Wan clan. After Lin Xian left, Gao Peng heaved a sigh of relief. It was too scary. Facing Lin Xian was like facing the ancestors of the Tiangang sect. Lin Xian was unfathomable, and he couldn't even breathe. But fortunately, this malefic star was finally gone. In the next moment, he also flew up, not even looking at the Wan clan. The remaining people of the Wan clan all heaved a sigh of relief. They felt like they had survived a disaster. However, no one noticed that the endless blood in the ruins of the Wan clan had flowed to the ground, leaving nothing behind. Deep in the ground, a withered, corpse-like figure was wrapped in endless blood. In the next moment, he opened his eyes, and a piercing light burst out, piercing through the void. Blood. I need more blood. Not enough. I can feel the screams of my descendants, and the screams. I want revenge. In the next moment, the bodies of those who were still alive in the ruins of the Wan clan suddenly split open and turned into a bloody mist. Then it sank into the ground. This scene was so sudden that the people of the Wan family didn't even have time to react. They didn't even have time to scream before they were all dead. In the depths of the earth, the shriveled, corpse-like figure let out a devilish laugh. Lin Xian left the Wan family. As he flew, he sent his soul spirit into the black earth and began to organize the spirit medicines he had obtained. To be honest, he had already collected almost all of them. There were still a few left, and he thought that the Qi clan would be able to help him. After treating the Shi family's old ancestor, he should be able to concoct the breakthrough Saint Pill. Thinking of this, Lin Xian felt a burst of excitement. He wondered how the Qi clan's collection was going. Lin Xian then returned to Tianfeng Pavilion. Tianfeng Pavilion. Qi Siyu was still waiting. When she heard that Lin Xian had returned, she heaved a sigh of relief. She thought that Lin Xian had left again. After Lin Xian found her, he asked, "How's the Qi clan's collection going?" "Lin Gongzi, I was just about to talk to you about this," Qi Siyu said anxiously. "We've already collected 90% of them. There are still some spirit medicines left, and we should be able to complete it in a month's time." "All right." Lin Xian nodded. "I'll go into seclusion first. Call me when it's time." Lin Xian walked into the depths of Tianfeng Pavilion and began his seclusion. This time, he didn't comprehend the Tao of heaven and earth. Instead, he cultivated directly to raise his cultivation. The pill sage's notes didn't only contain the breakthrough saint pill, but also countless other elixirs. Lin Xian found a few that were suitable for him and concocted 10 cauldrons of them. After obtaining the Purple Abyss cauldron, Lin Xian's success rate and speed of concocting elixirs had greatly increased. In addition, he had an abundance of spirit medicines and resources. Hence, concocting elixirs was effortless. Soon, 10 cauldrons of elixirs were concocted. Lin Xian swallowed all of them. Boom! A rumbling power erupted from his body. Lin Xian activated the longevity incantation and absorbed the elixirs with all his might. A month's time passed in the blink of an eye. On this day, Qi Siyu ran into the depths of Tianfeng Pavilion excitedly. She sent a voice transmission. "Lin Gongzi, it's done. Our Qi family has collected all the spirit medicines." After receiving the voice transmission, Lin Xian opened his eyes. The surging power in his body was like the waves of the sea. Then he retracted it. The perfection stage. Lin Xian exhaled and stood up. He had absorbed all the elixirs that he had concocted previously. These elixirs were all ancient spirit medicines. In addition, he had used precious spirit medicines to concoct them. Hence, their effects were extraordinarily good. They actually allowed him to reach the perfection stage of the 9 stars realm in one go. Now, Lin Xian was only one step away from the half-saint realm. However, this step was like a natural chasm that stopped countless geniuses. One should know that there were many 9-star perfection stage experts in the world. However, those who could successfully cross this step and reach the half-saint realm were few and far between. It could be said that they were rare existences. After all, a large family like the Wan family could dominate a region with 2 people who had comprehended the power of Tao. If they had another half-saint, their strength would definitely be even more terrifying. However, it was extremely difficult to become a half-saint realm expert. To become a half-saint realm expert, time was not the only thing that could be solved. Some people had even used 2,000 years and still failed to successfully cross that step. Now, Lin Xian was finally facing this step. However, he was very confident, not to mention that he had already comprehended 2 powers that were close to the Tao, one of which was very close to the precept fragment. In addition, his physical body had reached the half-saint realm. Coupled with the saint breakthrough pill, his cultivation could reach the half-saint realm. At that time, he would have 1 foot in the half-saint realm. As long as he comprehended the precept fragment, he would become a true half-saint. After that, his strength would undergo an earth-shattering improvement. Thinking of this, Lin Xian was incomparably excited. Now, Lin Xian was confident that he could fight a half-saint with the power of fire and the great dragon sword soul. After he became a true half-saint, how terrifying would his power be? He didn't dare to imagine. With a wave of his sleeve, Lin Xian removed the array and walked out. "Lin Gongzi, you're finally out." Qi Siyu was waiting anxiously outside. When she saw Lin Xian come out, she was delighted. The next moment, she exclaimed, "Lin Gongzi, your aura? What's wrong?" Lin Xian asked, No, I feel that you're different. Chi Siu carefully sensed, but found that she still couldn't see the depth of Lin Xian's aura. However, she felt that Lin Xian's aura was more mysterious than before. Could it be that Lin Gongzi broke through again? Thinking of this possibility, she was extremely surprised, and then shook her head. It couldn't be. How long had it been? Could he break through again? She had never heard of such a cultivation speed. Lin Xian said, since they had finished collecting, let's go. He put his hands behind his back and walked out. The two of them directly activated the array and teleported to the Qi family. Chapter 30, 170. The Tianfeng Pavilion was a subordinate of the Qi family, so there was a teleportation array inside. Soon, they arrived at the Qi family. At this moment, the elders of the Qi family were all waiting anxiously. When they saw Lin Xian and Qi Siu, they all surrounded them. Siu, you're finally back. Lin Gongzi, can we start now? These people were very excited. Lin Gongzi, how confident are you? To be honest, they weren't completely confident until now, because Lin Xian was too young. It was hard for them to believe that he was so young. Lin Xian was very calm. Bring me the spiritual herbs. Soon, someone brought them over. Lin Xian waved his hand and let the spiritual herbs float in the air. He scanned them with his soul and nodded slightly. Yes, these are the herbs. Now, I'm going to refine the pills. I'll prepare a secret room for Lin Gongzi. Qi Siu said. Lin Xian shook his head. There's no need. It's fine here. I'll set up a few arrays. You guys stay far away. No matter what happens, don't disturb me. He's going to refine pills in public? A few people in the crowd exclaimed. Lin Xian turned his head and glanced at them. They were Pill King He Tu, Pill King Black Feather, and Pill King Red Lotus. In addition, there were many alchemists who came because of Lin Xian's reputation. After all, Lin Xian's claim that he could cure the Qi family's patriarch's injury had caused a stir in the alchemy world. Countless alchemists came one after another. They couldn't believe it. They had to see it with their own eyes. Pill King He Tu, Pill King Black Feather, and Pill King Red Lotus had arrived early. When they heard that Lin Xian was going to refine pills in public, they were very excited. This way, they would be able to see the depth of Lin Xian's alchemy skills. The other alchemists were also discussing, isn't this kid too young? How old is he? How can he cure the Qi family's patriarch? Is he a liar? Who cares? If he's going to refine pills in public, we'll be able to see it soon. If he can't refine pills, the Qi family will punish him. How can he refine pills well? This young man was definitely boasting. One had to know that even a half-step alchemy sage could not refine it well, let alone him. The elders of the Qi family frowned when they heard those words. To be honest, they were also very worried. After all, these spiritual herbs were very precious, and their Qi family had paid a high price for them. If they failed, then not only would their old ancestors' injuries not be healed, they would also have wasted so many precious spirit herbs. However, they had no other choice now. They could only place all their hopes on Lin Xian. Lin Xian didn't care about what those people were thinking. He ordered Qi Siu to let the surrounding people quickly retreat and make an empty space. Lin Xian raised his hand and formed a formation that enveloped him. He took a deep breath, and a cold light burst out from his eyes. With a flip of his hand, a purple cauldron appeared in the air. Purple abyss cauldron. The surrounding alchemists all cried out in surprise. Their eyes lit up. Was this a pill cauldron that had been used by a half-step saint? He had actually obtained it. For such a precious cauldron to be in his hands, it was truly a waste, a god's gift. Some of the alchemists were very unwilling to accept this. However, there were also some top alchemy kings who said coldly, waste a god's gift? That might not be the case. Don't forget that he too, Dan Yu, and Red Lotus, the three of them couldn't defeat him. One could imagine that he was definitely an expert. If you want to snatch the cauldron, think about your own fate first. When those words came out, it was as if a basin of cold water had been poured over everyone, and they all came to their senses. That's right. 3-tier, 9 pill kings couldn't do anything to him. They would be cannon fodder if they went up. Of course, there were also some who were unconvinced. Among them, a few tier 9 pill kings snorted. So what if he's strong? We alchemists compete in alchemy skills. Let's see what qualifications this kid has to dare to say that he can cure the Qi family's old ancestors' injuries. When those words came out, everyone was puzzled. That's right, what kind of peerless pill could he refine? At this moment, everyone was nervously watching. He too, Yu, and Red Lotus, the 3 tier 9 pill kings, held their breaths inside the formation. After Lin Xian took out the purple abyss cauldron, he raised his head and looked at the spirit herbs in the sky. At the same time, he quickly recalled the refining method of the Suyang Golden Crow pill. After going through it 10 times in his mind, Lin Xian felt that there was no problem, and then he started. With a wave of his hand, the spirit herbs entered the cauldron one by one. Then Lin Xian's 9 sons' divine fire danced in his body and enveloped the cauldron. Lin Xian sat down cross-legged and started to refine the pill. The surrounding people waited patiently. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. A month had passed. Lin Xian still hadn't finished refining. After all, he was refining a sage-level pill. It wasn't something that could be completed in a short period of time. However, a month was almost enough. Lin Xian opened his eyes and took a deep breath. With a wave of his hand, he threw a spirit herb into the cauldron. Buzz. At this moment, the cauldron trembled slightly. Not good. I'm afraid I'm going to fail. The tier 9 pill kings outside exclaimed softly. The other alchemists also sneered. The members of the Qi family were extremely nervous. Lin Xian frowned. He reached out his soul and tried his best to control the cauldron. However, in the end, all the spirit herbs in the cauldron turned into ashes with a loud bang. Did he fail? Lin Xian frowned slightly and started to review the process. The members of the Qi family outside had ugly expressions. Failed. Damn it. Why did it turn out like this? Qi Siu's face was also pale. However, at this moment, the Qi family's patriarch said in a low voice, even the best alchemists didn't have 100% success rate. Failing once wasn't a big deal. After hearing this, the members of the Qi family heaved a sigh of relief. Indeed, they knew that some pills were extremely difficult to refine, especially the pill that cured the Qi family's patriarch. It was even more precious. It was impossible to have 100% success rate. It was estimated that a 10% success rate would be very high. Therefore, failing once didn't mean anything. However, they only collected 3 sets of spirit herbs. This meant that Lin Xian had 2 more chances. Could Lin Xian succeed in 2 tries? They didn't know. Their hearts were all in their mouths. The alchemists around them sneered. There was no way this kid could succeed. These pills were too difficult to refine. Moreover, they could tell that these were half-step saint-level pills. No matter how powerful this kid was, could he be a half-step pill saint? They all shook their heads and sneered. The 3 pill kings, he too, Yu, and Red Lotus frowned. What do you think? Pill King, Yu asked in a low voice. Pill King, he too, frowned. We've never seen his alchemy technique before. It's not from Cloud Return Planet. Where did he learn it from? Although we've never seen it before, it's so complicated that even I can't handle it. Pill King Red Lotus smiled bitterly. He might really be refining a half-step saint pill. A half-step saint pill. Pill King, he too, took a deep breath. Chapter 30, 171. Although he was a top-grade 9 pill king, he had no way of refining this kind of pill because his strength was not up to par. However, this young man in front of him, who was nearly 1,000 years younger than him, could actually start refining the half-saint pill. Although he failed in the end, he maintained it for nearly a month. This meant that the other party's alchemy skills had far surpassed his. Thinking of this, the 3 pill king's heart sank. He was really a rising star. No, he was a peerless genius. It turned out that this set of Roman flowers was put in too early. On the other side, Lin Xian finally found the reason for his failure. He took a deep breath again and started refining again. At his level, refining for a month was nothing. He even saw in the pill saint's notes that some pills took hundreds of years to refine. Those pills had spirituality and could fight on their own. For now, Lin Xian could only look at such a mythical pill. Right now, he only needed to refine this pill. The second time, the refining began. Another month had passed, and everyone's hearts were in their throats, because the last time, it failed at this time. They wondered if he would succeed this time. Many pill refiners were paying close attention. The Qi family members were also extremely nervous. Qi Siu clenched her fists tightly. Su Chen seemed very calm. After all, he had already found the reason for his failure. Therefore, after putting it in this time, there were no abnormalities. Next, it was almost time to wrap it up. After more than a month, the pill had basically taken shape. Lin Xian was going to do the final condensation. However, he could not let his guard down. After all, there were many pill refiners who failed at the last step. Lin Xian followed the experience provided by the pill saint's notes carefully. Finally, another 10 days passed. With a bang, a rumbling sound came from the pill furnace. Following that, countless rays of light spewed out, and a fragrance wafted over. Even through the array formation, everyone felt refreshed. Many people even felt the power in their bodies boiling. Could it be that he had succeeded? Everyone widened their eyes in disbelief. The Qi family members were so excited that they almost fainted. Those pill refiners looked as if they had seen a ghost. Impossible! A few top-grade 9 pill kings screamed. How could he have succeeded? That was a sage-level pill. Indeed, these alchemists were about to faint from fright. The other party was able to refine a half-step saint's pill. Didn't that mean that the other party was a half-step pill saint? Thinking of this, their bodies trembled. The 3 pill kings, He Tu, He Yu, and Red Lotus, had a change in expression as well. Half-step pill saints were like seniors in their alchemy world. They had to pay their respects when they saw him. Did he succeed? The old ancestor of the Qi clan held onto his walking stick, his body trembling. A smile appeared on his wrinkled old face. Finally, his injuries could be healed. After 300 years, he was finally going to recover. Thinking of this, the Qi family patriarch smiled. Lin Xian waved his hand, and a golden elixir appeared in the void. The golden pill had a mysterious pattern on it that resembled the texture of a tree. From afar, it looked like a golden crow lying on top of it. Success! Lin Xian grabbed the pill in his hand and removed the array formation. In the next moment, he looked at the people of the Qi clan. The other people's eyes were red. They were too excited. They didn't think that Lin Xian would really succeed. From the discussion of the surrounding pill kings, they already knew that Lin Xian had refined a half-step saint's pill. He knew how difficult it was to refine it. He estimated that none of the pill kings present could refine it successfully. However, Lin Xian succeeded. Didn't that mean that the other party was a half-step pill saint? Thinking of this, the people of the Qi clan were shocked. Such a young half-step pill saint was helping them. It seemed that the heavens had opened their eyes. Qi Siu was also excited. Lin Gongzi, you really succeeded? That's great. She looked at the Qi family patriarch. At this moment, the patriarch threw away his walking stick. His body trembled slightly, and his turbid eyes burst out with a piercing cold light. It was like a divine lamp that pierced through the 9 heavens and 10 lands. Was Lin Gongzi really cured? The Qi family patriarch seemed to be in disbelief. He wanted to confirm it again. Lin Xian nodded. That's right. He was cured. He threw the pill in his hand to the patriarch. Swallow it. This pill can heal your injuries for 300 years. The Qi family patriarch's hands trembled when he received it. He suppressed the excitement in his heart and said in a low voice, I'm going into seclusion. Activate the array, and don't let anyone disturb me. Whoosh. He turned into a ray of light and rushed into the depths of the Qi clan. The Qi family patriarch's elders quickly took action. One array after another lit up, especially the depths of the Qi clan, which was surrounded by dozens of large arrays. Obviously, they would not allow any accidents to happen to the Qi family patriarch. The area around Lin Xian and the others was also enveloped by the formation. The Qi family patriarch looked at Lin Xian with excitement. They quickly walked up to him. Thank you, Lin Gongzi. If the patriarch's injuries can really be cured, the Qi family will definitely thank you. Lin Xian nodded. There was a reason why he helped the Qi family patriarch. That was because he needed the Qi family to help him collect the remaining spirit herbs. However, it was not the time yet. When the Qi family patriarch walked out again and recovered from his injuries, he would make another request. But now, he looked at the surrounding pill kings. The surrounding pill kings felt their scalps go numb. Previously, they had mocked the other party, thinking that he was too young and would not succeed. However, they did not expect that he would really succeed. However, there were also some who were stubborn. It was just that he had succeeded. Now, they could not be sure that the Qi family patriarch's injuries could be cured. However, as soon as he said that, the surrounding people quickly left, afraid that they would be implicated. Some people even sneered. Idiot, that's a half-step pill saint. How dare you be so arrogant? As expected, those who mocked him broke out in cold sweat. That's right, that's a half-step pill saint. So, what if he could not be cured? Would they dare to offend him? Thinking of that, their intestines turned green with regret. With a plop, they knelt on the ground and kowtowed nonstop. Most of the surrounding pill masters walked up respectfully and bowed to Lin Xian. Greetings, senior. They had no choice, although they had lived for 1,000 or 2,000 years, and some had even lived for close to 3,000 years. They were all old monsters. However, in terms of alchemy, they were far behind Lin Xian. Therefore, even if Lin Xian was very young, they still had to address him as senior and bow to him. Lin Xian naturally knew these rules, so he gladly accepted them. Whether it was martial arts, alchemy, or other things, strength was the most important. Age was simply ignored. Lin Xian's gaze swept across the surrounding pill masters and finally landed on the 3 people in the distance. Are the 3 of you convinced now? You're tuning in to the Mystic Fist YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.